Hold on, I gotta check something on. Oh, see you.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome to the Philly Frenzy podcast. And tonight, Jelly and I, or Zero Dark, whatever you guys know him in the community as, are having a 2K League pre-day draft show, pre-night draft show. We're going to be covering a couple prospects that we do not have on, but we do have some big prospects coming on in Maj. We got the Ville, we got Oreo, Rabb, Kingdooms. Jcurry's coming. There's a chance that we have Duran. Also, there's a chance that we get Cooks to come on after his best of 5 series. So make sure everyone stays tuned. It's going to be a very interesting show, to say the least. I'm going to try to touch on a lot of these guys and let the coaches and the GMs know who these players are right before the draft. So maybe it helps boost their chances of getting drafted or going up a little bit higher. Joe, what's going on, man?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. I just want to hear what these guys got to say.
Yeah, so there's been some rumors going on in this 2K community that we
Big rumors. Big rumors.
that this is going to kind of switch this draft board up a lot. Um, it's going to be interesting to see. It looks like Radiant's heading over to Detroit. Not sure exactly what the offer is, but it seems Radiant will be getting paired with
Ramo.
Ramo.
That's a big duo. Like, yeah, there's a lot of rumors going around. They're not confirmed yet as the 2K League or any of the people that are associated with them, like Harris or anybody, have really officially tweeted out. Right now, the Radiant trade, it looks like it's going to be Radiant and a fourth. So he's going over to Detroit with that. There's rumors too. Like there's been there's a lot of rumors out. There's Anthony's got kicked out of the pool. Reg could big huge rumor that just everyone just heard about that Reg could possibly go into the Lakers for the 1st to the 7th, which is a big rumor. That could be just a big troll, but you never know. I just think a lot of these GMs and coaches and stuff right now, I think their ready rooms are chaotic. If they say they're not, I think it's a little fib. I mean, they always have backup plans. They're professionals. They know how to work around this, but I think it's going to be a lot of shakeup.
Yeah, from what it seems like, Fab was on earlier in JBM's Periscope, and Fab said, out of the 4 MVP guys from season 2 in that race, all 4 of them now with Radiant getting moved to Detroit. All 4 of them been moved.
Yeah.
I was excited in the beginning of the offseason to see Walnut go over to Philly, and I thought that was going to be very interesting to see him and Radiant play together, and now we don't even get to see it. We get to see Radiant and Ramo.
I think Blazers, the Blazers 5, they want to make some shakeups. I think they made some shakeups. I think they got a good squad over there. I think they really benefited from that trade going on with the solid squad they got going in for this draft as well. But yeah, man, it's a lot of shakeup, a lot of stirring going on. I like this. Like everyone's like, oh, this is a terrible draft class. Like some people were saying, like it can't be that bad if a lot of coaches have moved stuff around. It can't be that bad. Me personally, I feel like this is one of the best draft classes they ever had.
I feel the same way. I've definitely seen people saying this is a bad draft class and yada yada yada. I think this draft class, and we've had this discussion a couple nights ago, where these point guards are not just point guards. They could play the 1 through 5, and you're going to be able to get guys that are viable not only at the point guard position because they can play other positions at a high level. And if you start looking in this pool, it's not so much just the point guards that are versatile. A lot of these guys are versatile. Just look at the guys that we're having on today. I mean, what can Maj not play?
I mean, yeah, Maj is legit. He's lock center, lock 4. And he went back to lock kind of thing. So he can play a lot of positions. I mean, just that too, but plus the content side that he's bringing with himself. From that GTA role playing. I mean, he did all his content by himself, which is like a big boost, and I feel like that's what puts him over the edge, a little bit. Just other than stick skill, like that content side, I feel like helps a lot of people because there's a lot of teams that like you got to like I said this in past streams, you got to look at the teams and the markets that you're going after or that you would like to play for and what's out there. Like Pacers, they have a lot of YouTube stuff. Raptors, they do a lot of content. The T-Wolves did a lot of content. They lost actually their content person, I guess, or early on. So they, Bear started putting on content for them. Then they recently started putting out more content. So you got to look at the market like that, and that's what I feel like a lot of these new prospects. Like look at jcurry's putting out fucking a whole bunch of stuff. Excuse my language, but he's just putting out a whole bunch of content.
I mean, and then you look over and you look at Dooms. Dooms is somebody who not only is a sharp, he's played center in WR. He's played guard.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he's also played at the forward position. So Dooms is another versatile guy that is in this class that I've seen not on many mocks. Not really sure why, but for him not being on a mock and him being that versatile, and me thinking that he can be a 2K League player, that just shows how good this draft pool actually is. And then we also got Rabb on tonight. Rabb's a 1-2. So he's definitely versatile just as much as any other guard or any other 2 guard in this pool. And then you got Ville, who is a lock, who also I haven't seen on many mock drafts. And then the real big versatile guy is Oreo tonight. Oreo can play the 2 through 5. I mean, if you give him enough time, he might even be able to play the 1. But just the 6 guys we have on tonight, they're versatile. They all want to put out content. They all want to win. They all want to be here. Like, these are the guys that if I'm looking at the pool, these 6 are representing the whole pool, and every single one of these guys are the same exact way. It's not like you're looking at the number 1 pick, and if it's crazy to the Lakers or the Bucks or wherever it is, Crazy's going to be a guy that puts out content. Crazy's a guy that can play the 2 through 5, and then you look at somebody who could be drafted, in the last overall spot. I've seen people talk about possibly Always Dre getting picked in the last spot of the draft. He's a guy who puts out content, and he could play multiple positions. So just 1 and 62 are showing you how deep this draft class is. And for people to say that it's not that deep, I'm not sure what you're looking at.
I mean, if you look over the past years, I mean, people might be looking at, you had the high power names going out first. You know what I mean? Like, and these guys were getting overlooked. They were still, building up their reputations, building up their gameplay. But I feel like the 6 guys we got on, you know what I mean? Like, a couple of them just started coming out on the scene. Like, you'll see the post, like, oh, really started playing, competitively and getting wins and stuff like that. That's what they're looking at. You know what I mean? Like, the other guys that were that got drafted the years past, they were winners from like the jump. You know what I mean? Kind of thing. And that's why, because there's been it's a lot of team hopping now. There's a lot of different lineups you see out there. You don't see the teams sticking together, and that's what I think the GMs and coaches kind of look at too as well. Because there's just a lot of lineup changes, a lot of forfeits, all that stuff going on out there. It's craziness.
You can't blame anyone for team hopping though, because the league's doing it now.
No. I'm not saying you can blame those guys, but like if you look at the old days, like the KMTs and all that stuff, and like
they got it out the mud.
The GFG guys. You know what I mean? It's like those guys, yeah, they got out the mud. Like, they stuck together. They went through the grind, and they became champions in these big name leagues for a long time. And you just kept on seeing it. Like, the whole thing, like everyone was so hyped. Oh, post draft, win in post draft, and it always came back around. What are you gonna do in pre-draft when all the soups back? I even said it before. What are you gonna do around when the soups back? And you saw it, and it was the big name teams, the guys that stuck together, guys grinded out. They came back from the league pre-draft. They played. You know what I mean? And they were still winning. That's what the difference was. But now a lot of these guys, they got their games on lock.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like now they're coming out, they're beating the big names. They're beating the squads of all the pro players on the team. We've seen it. We watched the streams. We had them on the podcast, watching the streams and the stuff, and it's just that's how it is now. It's just like these guys deserve their respect. The 6 guys we have on there, and every guy in the draft pool now deserves their respect now because they're showing out and they can show that they can hang with the best of the best.
Yeah, and I'm going to make this clear before we actually get Oreo on here in 3 minutes. if anybody at any point tonight wants to hop on the stream, 2K draft eligible or not, if you want to hop in and say a few words, write me on Facebook. Yeah, Facebook, on Twitter, or just write in the chat on Twitch, and I will get you on. I'm not gonna tell anybody no. I know I was trying to get the scheduling done before we got on, but I mean it was a couple guys we were trying to get scheduled. Times are go. You got times and leagues still going on, so it's kind of difficult. And some guys are still working. We're gonna have Height on at some point tonight, as well as these 6 guys. Just he's working, so
we're here for the long haul. So anyone gets on, just hit us up.
Yeah, we'll be here. I'm projecting at least 2 to 3 hours. If anything changes, I mean, if somebody texts me at 11 o'clock and says, "Hey, can I get on to talk real quick?" I'm gonna allow you to come on. I don't, like I said to Maj, and I've said to a couple other guys that are coming on tonight, we don't get a lot of viewers, but if we could get the right eyes on you coming out, draft boards are done, but you never know. You say the right thing, you catch somebody's ear, you could be drafted tomorrow.
The way it's going right now, I don't think draft boards are done. I think they're going to be switching it up during the draft.
I mean, they're going to have to if it seems like this. It's like one guy traded here, 17 picks traded there.
I think there's going to be a lot of trades. I feel like there's going to be a lot of trades, a lot of chaos tomorrow.
It's very difficult to wrap my head around all these trades. It's kind of like a
mock drafts. Throw them out the door. Rip those things up. Throw them in the trash.
Hey, Rob, what's going on, buddy? Rob will be in here with us for a decent amount of time tonight. He's going to chime in. I know Rob doesn't know much about 2K. He's new to the community, but he's going to try his best, and that's all I could ask for. What's going on, Rob?
Not much, man. Hanging.
All right, so we're just waiting on Oreo to hop in the stream. I haven't heard back from him yet. Let me see here. Hey, Rabb, I see you're in the Discord. Are you here? Maybe we get Rabb on a little early and switch stuff up. Oh. All right. So, Rabb isn't here. Rabb is scheduled for 8:15. Real quick, I'll go through the schedule. Oreo's going to be on at 8. Rabb at 8:15. Dooms at 8:30. Ville is at 9. Maj is at 9:15. We got jcurry at 9:45. Height sometime after 10:30. And like I said, we might be able to possibly steal Cooks for a few minutes. And we might get Duran on. Rabb is actually here. So we're going to jump over Oreo until I hear from Oreo. Rabb said give him 1 second. And we'll jump in with Rabb.
Jumping with Rabb. Remember Rabb during the first time I played against Rabb or met Rabb was in WR Select Season 1. In our finals game, he was averaging, I think, almost like 50. 50. We pulled out the win, but that man was a problem.
And he's speaking about Rabb. I mean, we talked about guys getting out the mud. Bombs Away is out the mud. I mean,
Birdie's Revenge, Bombs Away. You know what I mean? Like Rabb always really had his own brand. I mean, he really stuck with it. And I mean, he had a little fall off. He was playing. Everyone was, joking on Rabb. He's not old Rabb. But I mean, he stuck with it. And I feel like he's one person I would like to see get drafted. I mean, he had a good combine. He had a good Colts combine.
Yo.
There he is. Preacher Rabb.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
What's going on, Rabb?
What's up? What's going on?
All right, so the idea is during this 15 minutes, what all I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you 3 questions and then allow you to take take front center stage, talk to anybody who might see this, and try to get yourself a little bit higher on the draft stock and on these draft boards. So, first thing, if you had to describe yourself with one word, Rabb, what would the word be?
Man, I'm gonna put it. I'm gonna just
come on. You had to have harder questions than this. Let's go. Come on.
You can't give me one. You can't give me one word. I could just say this off the bat. I'm a vibe guy. You know, as y'all know, y'all know me to be. I don't get into no mess, no nonsense when everybody comes around. When everybody tries, to bring me down a lot. Everybody knows what happened in post draft. Everybody, seeing how bad I played. Not, I was disappointed in myself when that came in, but obviously, that changed. That changed when it came down to, when the current gen, the next gen came around. So, I feel like I did everything I had to do to, make me stand out, and I blocked out all the noise, and I just vibe. I'm a vibe guy. That's all I can say.
What is?
Yeah, I was talking to Shaq, and you know what I mean. Like we just went over this. Like I said this too. Like post drive, you did last season. You had a little downfall. You know what I mean. But I've always known you as how you had Brady's Revenge, your Bombs Way. You always kept it with your own kind of brand and always try to build up for the mud kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I remember playing you back. You probably know because I changed game tags. But the first time I played against you, I met Rabb and actually seen his game was WR Select Season 1.
Oh man, don't bring that up.
WR Select Season 1. Hey, no, I remember we won the chip, we beat you, but the thing was, it was the man was averaging 50 points, always that. Rabb was always in the scene, he was always in the top comp, you know what I mean? Little fall off, came back, came strong. You had a great combine, you know what I mean? I feel like you had a great combine, a great close combine.
To be honest, a lot of people really didn't think I would be in the situation right now. I could say that. And as much as I think about post draft and all the events that came up to that, I think that kind of got my mental straight going into 21 as a whole, because a lot of people was looking at me as, oh, it's Rabb, it's like he's gonna screw up. It doesn't matter. We won the game already. And I just looked at that like, okay, you can say that all the time. At the end of the day, you're gonna be stunned. Like you're gonna wish that you haven't said that. A lot of people have wished they haven't said that. The same people that say that it's Rabb, those are the same people that are rooting for me when I do good, but then rooting for me even more, when I do bad. So that's kind of a trend that I caught on to real fast, and and it's like I don't get into it with nobody else. I just let everybody have their own opinions, and I just go out and hoop. It's usually what I do.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching the combine, man. I was about to call you the Fade King. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
The man was hitting shots out of Stephen Lane was out his ass, and he was just pulling from anywhere. He was just hitting everything. I mean,
a lot of people have called me the Fade King, and they said I wasn't gonna be the same after the patch. I adjusted very well after the patch, so it that was kind of a key thing for me, because a lot of people was just saying, "Oh, he's fade made. He's not able to score without fades and doing all this other stuff." So I just kind of took that to a whole too. A lot of people got on my head off of that, saying just because of that, and they obviously was rooting for me to fail. So that was the best thing. That was the best thing that I could hear, because that made me even more hungry.
What's the first thing you're gonna do tomorrow if you hear your name called?
Man, well, my parents are gonna be with me while watching this.
Popping bottles.
No, I to be honest, I'm gonna just soak it all in. I'm gonna soak it all in, because I know I gave everything I had. Even if I get drafted or I don't, I know I'll put everything on the table to put myself out there to be one of the best shooting guards or anything, or even a point guard. Y'all know they had me play point guard in the combine, and I was originally playing shooting guard. I was originally playing shooting guard, and everybody started labeling me as a point guard because I had the ball in my hand. But yeah, as of celebrating, I'm just gonna soak it all in. My parents, it's not all for my parents. It's for my late auntie that passed actually a couple months ago. It was my aunt Dorothy. You know, everything I do, everything I say is for Dorothy. You might see me every time I do my little tweets. Hashtag is everything's for Dorothy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the main reason that I'm still actually playing 2K because she one day she actually sat and watched me play, and this was maybe a week before before the Grizzlies tourney, and she realized, and this was like 5 a.m. She had actually stayed over my house because her house was getting fumigated, and she had told me, I see you're really good. I see you're really good at this game and stuff. You mind teaching me what you're doing? And I explained to her what I was doing in the world of 2K. I explained to her my best of what the 2K League is and how the process is going, how the process goes, and then she told me off the bat, if you can make your dream come true off of that, I promise you, you will be the best be the best at what you do, because I always knew you that. My auntie used to also be one of my professors when I was in college too, so that was another thing about that. So that was like that's not just my auntie, but like a mentor to me when it came down to getting everything together and trying to find what I do, just trying to find my calling, find everything that I want to do in life. So that's everything I do is for my auntie.
I feel it. I like that. I like that a lot, man. Gotta do it for Professor Dorothy. You're getting an F.
Listen, I ever got an F in college. She it ain't gonna be pretty. Telling you that right now.
No, yeah, it's good to have that support system behind you and someone that's rooting you on. From above too. Rest in peace. You always have to have something that's pushing you, and that's great that you have something that's pushing you. You really want to do it for something. You know what I mean? Not just for yourself. You're doing it for your aunt that passed away and everything like that, for your family and stuff like that. So that I really give you praise for that, man.
I appreciate that a lot. Thank you.
Oreo, you will not be asked any questions until you turn your damn camera on.
Oh, shoot. There we go.
Rabb, why should a team take a chance?
Oreo's out on the porch. Oreo's out on the porch.
Why should a team take a chance on you, Rabb?
Man, any team that takes a chance on me, you getting a hard worker. You getting, no matter, you can put me at the 5, and I'll be the best big man that you'll ever see. I might be kicking Oreo butt in the next couple months if you see me. Like I said, it don't matter what position you put me at. You can put me in my primary. You can put me at any position on the court. I'll make sure that I'm the best on the court at everything I do, and then off the court, I'll make sure that I'm the best teammate. I'm the best damn teammate that you ever have. So just making sure that you build it not only for yourself but around each other, just to build a brotherhood for the next 6 months, and then so on. So you're getting a great guy to me when whoever takes a chance on me. So,
is there anything you want to have GMs or coaches hear about you before tomorrow?
Whew, man, what haven't I told the GMs? I told the GM so much. The ones that I did have interviews with, I told them my story to the best of my abilities. I told them what I would.
Rabb, what is your story? How did you start? What brought you to gaming? What brought you to, like a lot of people, they were athletes. They had, an injury. So they had to lean towards something else. It still kind of like held on to the sport theme kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, tell us your story so they can hear it again.
Well, I played basketball all 4 years. In high school, I won 2 regionals, 2 districts, runner up in states. We did as much as I could do, and then got an injury obviously my senior year. That was obviously my calling to actually play video games. So I had my best friend that recently passed in November. Around the same time that my auntie passed. It was like a couple weeks spread about that around that time that he was actually helping me with my documentary that I was supposed to put out back in January. And unfortunately, we couldn't recover any of the backstory to that because that was years worth of film that we were working on. Just about a year, just close to a year. But my late friend Isaiah actually put me on to playing competitive. Because I was previously playing on PlayStation, and he realized how really good I was when I was playing when I was just playing Park. This was off of Park, and then obviously 2K15. Everybody was in the rec. Everybody was in the Jordan Rec Center. I would play that 24/7. I was talking trash. I did get suspended for a week at one point, and then that was kind of the turning point of me just kind of trying to lock in and just trying to see what was best, either me staying over PlayStation or me coming to Xbox. That's exactly what I did in 17. I gave it a year in 16, and then I told myself I believe it's a bigger scene on Xbox, and I'm right about that because it's a lot of people on Xbox that you see that has made the league and are considered top players, and I want to be known as one of those players. It don't gotta be now, but however long much I gotta put the work in. It could be in a day, it could be 100 days. So that's how I look at it.
All right. Anybody that doesn't know, Rabb's Twitter handle is RabTiller2K. Make sure you go hit him with a follow. Oreo, do you have any questions for Rabb? I'm going to let you ask him if you have anything while you guys are in here together.
Oreo, make your bunk beds.
B-Law.
Hey, man.
B-Law.
A question for Rabb. Would it matter if you play a shooting guard or point guard, no matter, or you have to play 6-man and just come up? Would it matter?
Oh man, it don't matter. It don't matter what position I play. I'll play your position, and I'll be better than you at your position. You know this.
Oh, he looked all right on the phone. He looked all right on the phone.
Oh yeah, the double stuffed Oreos going in the trash.
He looked okay on the phone.
Hey, listen. Regardless of the fact, like I said, whatever position you put me at, you're the best player on the court. Game changer, automatic.
Rabb, you got anything you want to ask Oreo real quick?
You gonna play sharp in the league, Oreo?
I'll be the best. I probably would. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, I wouldn't mind though. If I had a good point guard now. I'll play sharp for.
That's what it's gonna come down. That's what I want to know. If it come down to you playing with a good point guard, is you gonna go back to sharp?
I would happily play sharp. Sit still behind the hash. Watch the game go by and shoot all game. I would happily do that.
Oh, so you talking about being the cone? I better see some Dexing out of you.
I would happily do that.
I'm good for it. I'm trying to see you. I'm trying to see what you did in WR Select to take me out the finals.
I was a ball handler. I want to be more of a sharp.
Yeah, I mean, you being a ball handler and the sharp at the 4, I can do the same thing you do. Yeah, nobody. I'm telling you.
I have to take my talent to shooting guard for Rabb.
I like that. That made me smile. Know that.
Coaches, you hear it here first. Draft Rabb the King Tiller.
Yes, sir.
Going tomorrow. I wish you the best, Rabb. Always have. I'm gonna start calling you Preacher Rabb. I think you should change that to your GT for the league. From that graphic I made, you look like a little pastor.
Hey, no, don't. Whoever made that graphic, y'all got Reptar having a hell of a time with that graphic. I'm telling you that right now. Whoever did Jelly, listen, that's spreading like wildfire.
Hey, I'm here for whatever. You guys can just hit me up. I'm a DM away. Whatever you guys need. I wish you told me about the documentary stuff. I would have helped you out with that too.
Okay. Looks like we froze for a second, so I'm going to break it off of that.
Maybe that's sooner, but that's fine.
There we go.
It's all good. It's all good regardless.
All right, so Rabb, thank you for coming on. Best of luck tomorrow. Really, I hope you get into the league, and I'm looking forward to watching you, even if it is post-draft. But best of luck, man, and thanks again for coming on. Draft Rabb.
Sir.
Let's switch over now with Oreo. If my stream actually picks up Oreo here, because it looks like my stream is bugging a little bit.
Sorry.
Oreo.
Yep. My internet was bugging a little bit. You was blacked out for a second.
Yeah, mine froze.
They got no.
Mine froze
They
for a
got no
second
rules.
too.
They got no rules in your dorm. You don't have to make those beds. I gotta call the TA, man. I gotta go teach us something.
I was just in my bed 30 minutes ago.
Oh, that explains why he's late.
I watch your little fleet. Looks like you got dragged around the football field a little bit. What happened there?
You know, it's hard to explain. But at the end, I ended up winning, so it didn't matter. I ended up with the win. It did look bad at first. He's like he my freshman. And I coached a little bit. He just came out yanking and pulling like a little mutt. So, but I ended up winning. He ended up slipping, so I won. It don't matter.
Oreo, what you eating over there?
You know what I got.
What you
man.
think? You eating Oreos?
That's
all the man eat.
I was back in the plain old double stuff. That's all I got.
I never heard of a football athlete out there just eating Oreos all day long.
Yeah,
You must have a metabolism of I don't know what.
Oreos and monsters. Gotta have it.
So, let's. I mean, I know we just talked recently, but let's describe yourself using one word.
Gosh, one word.
One word.
I got one. Thick-headed.
That's 2 words.
I put them together.
Interesting. Nah. Hold on. That's hard. I can't think of one word. I got too much going on in my head. I don't know one word.
All right, we'll jump back to it. We'll let you think for a couple minutes.
One word.
What do you bring to an organization?
Shoot. I bring sort of like a glue guy, but like I also can step out of my comfort zone. I don't gotta go to some specific place and just be a silent guy or be a guy that try to fit in. That's not me. So at any organization, I already talked to all the coaches and most of the GMs. They already know they're getting high energy, not scared to talk, not scared to communicate with anybody. I don't care who you is. Just bringing high energy and being a glue guy, just trying to stay in the team.
Every GM and coach knows that they have to have a full closet full of Oreos, right?
I'll make that clear.
An Oreo signing bonus, I swear, man.
I wish they give me a sponsorship.
You hear that, Oreos? We need a sponsorship out here. Get this man the Oreo sponsorship.
Yes, we can keep his name Oreo.
Hey, the NBA just got to collab with them with Oreos. I'm gonna start getting some DMs, see if I can get it happen.
They don't respond to DM. Man, my name not Oreo. I gotta say my name D-Law.
Or I'm gonna give you a couple minutes here for any GM or coach that's watching. Just hit on anything that you want them to know about you.
Sure, just they already know, so I just say some stuff. Get repetitive. You know what you're getting at me. You don't see me perform at the 4 for a lot of money, at the 5 won a lot. A couple of the old coaches that seen me back in the day play at the Sharp. I was still a high energy guy. I might have been the best at the 2, but no matter what position I was at, I was always the one loudest in the party. I was always like the leader, saying like the little side comments that people don't think that's not a big deal, but it's a big deal to your teammates. You just say like little stuff to your teammates to boost them up, or just to tell them that where you at, where you going, where your head at, how they should play or whatever. Off the court, I'm gonna be that teammate that don't care about your feelings. Somebody's gonna tell you straight up, but not in a way that's toxic. Like I wouldn't say anything dumb, of course, but just being a good teammate and let you know the real. So when we do play, it's not that we go out to get the same thing that got us in the struggle already. High energy on and off. I know most of the guys already, so chemistry's a meshing on the court, be fine. You know, the defense I bring, the rebound, just all around intensity, able to shoot, just scoring on stuff that's kind of not supposed to be scoring. Like people seeing current gen or they seen on 2K19 post draft, 20 post draft. Also, just that guy that's willing to grind. I've been playing sports my whole life and winning my whole life, so I always film is like number one for me. So I just made sure they know that right off the rip. Like I'm a hard worker and a grinder. That's what they're gonna get.
So you just told Rabb you're gonna play sharp.
For the right team, put me on the hash.
I mean, it's kind of difficult. We just had you on last week, so I know there's not many questions that we could hit with you. And really, when you look at these mock drafts, do you pay attention to them?
I mean, to an extent, yeah, but also everybody know mock drafts not 100%. It's not really real. Like the same way these people make mock draft or the people on Twitter make mock draft. Every coach in the league, every scout, every GM, they also making their own mock draft. So it's really no telling. But it kind of gives you a sense of how people view you. Not really if you don't get drafted, where you gonna get drafted. It's just how people view you from outside that don't really know me for real. So I mean, yeah, to an extent, I watch them, but not really nothing serious.
Do you have a series tonight?
Yes, I do. Thanks for reminding me. TPO finals, best of 5. We play straight ice at 11.
This guy trying to waste my jersey.
Yo, I was there. I was gonna go to the cafeteria, go eat somewhere. I'm not gonna lie.
But no, all right. I got a couple questions for you. Do you feel like you heard you're hearing the rumors, right? You're hearing the rumors about the draft. You're hearing the rumors about the trades and all this stuff. You know, there's a big one that came out, Reg to the Lakers, all this stuff.
Is that true?
People don't know. If it's not posted out from the league, it's not true. But I think it's going to be a lot of shakeup tomorrow. I feel like it's going to be a lot of chaos. I think a lot of GMs, coaches are going to have a lot of, what am I going to do next? Where's my next guy? Do you feel like with all these trades, Sab going to Miami, they're saying this and that, blah, blah, blah. You feel like this is going to bump you up a tier or so?
I feel it's no telling because I don't know what's going to happen. I know something's going to happen, but it either bring you up, pull me up a little bit, or may even just pull me down. I don't know how it go.
I'm going to feel like I'm biased. I'm biased because I like you. I like your energy. I like who you are. You play for my squad, but I'm not. I could be biased, but I feel it's gonna bump you up. I mean, they want that. They want that high energy.
I see, like with the picks changing and stuff. Yeah, I know. Yeah, certain teams gonna need that position.
Yep.
So, there's a good chance I might get picked earlier than what I really expected. I'm expecting I'm not. Honestly, I told most of the coaches the same thing. I said, I'm not worried about. I'm not trying to go like. Yeah, I'm gonna go hoop. I'm gonna try to be all defensive team, all rookie team, this and that. But I'm not really worried about being retained. I want to win money, so I don't care about going like first to 20th overall pick. I'm trying to go. If I expect to be like late first or mid second, I'm fine with that. I'll win some money. Put on a good team, I'm gonna win.
Do you think you're gonna be that rookie? Because this is my prediction. A rookie that's coming in now is going to help an organization win. The rookie's going to be that spotlight. You think you're going to be that rookie?
Yeah, I think I am, just from my past. Like I told you, I probably never ever been on a losing team in my life. So like if I go to the league and go and not make the playoffs, I'll be stunned, shocked. But be as a rookie, being myself, I just know what it takes to win. I feel like if I just go to a decent team, it'll put them over the edge.
Now, how do you feel like right now? People saying, "Oh, this is this draft class kind of, it's not really the best draft class out there."
You feel like that's just disrespecting? You think people are just saying that, or is that's just they're just talking to hype people up, just get a little controversy going in the community?
It's like the community just talks. They say this about every draft class. If this draft class gonna be good, well, season 2 draft class was worst class. Season 3 draft class was trash. The point guards are trash. The people, look, last year Ohio and Glenn went before. I think they went before a lot of point guards in the league.
They both went before Reg.
Ohio was the 4th overall pick, and they was talking, oh, this season 3 draft class, the deepest, biggest draft class yet, best, most talented. But Peter, they just talk, so I don't feel no disrespect, nothing at all. People just talk. Like, we're really happy. What really gonna show is when if all the season 4 prospects like produce in the league.
Which I think there's a good chance that a lot of the rookie guys coming in are going to produce at a high level. I think Dooms, I think Rabb, you guys are gonna go in as long as everything I think goes as planned. You guys are going to go in and definitely make a difference in the league right away.
Yeah, my opinion, like, I've shared this over the past streams too. This draft class, I think, is the deepest one they ever had. Deepest one. From you, Fakey, Dooms, Curry, everyone that's come on the show. Everybody, not even just come on the show. There's everyone in the draft class. Like, I feel like this is the deepest rookie class that they're going to have, and I don't think we're going to see one after. So like what? Season 5, I don't know if like Johnny Red's gonna be there. Johnny Red's gonna be hot. I don't know if Spam's a year or 2 out. Benzo's a little bit younger. You know what I mean? Like you're gonna see down the road. You're gonna see, little snips of people coming in. But like this, I think this is gonna be the final deepest draft class that they're really gonna have. I feel.
Yeah, I'm gonna add that on too. Like, for this draft class, being deep was also a good thing, but bad. Not bad, but you can make the wrong choice because with this draft class, it's not point guards and centers, which the most important position. We got most of the draft class is shooting guard, lock, power forward. That's really deep. So you make the wrong pull on one or first. So I think we're real deep, but it's not like the primary position. So it's just like shooting guard, power forward. Whoever produce, so they're gonna say they this and that.
I definitely agree. Oreo, as always, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna be cheering you on tomorrow, and hopefully I don't gotta watch the whole draft. You'll be picked in like the first 10, and then I can start kind of going through and seeing what's going on. But good luck tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be talking again soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, before you go get something to eat and get that serious, make your bed.
Not making. I'm not making my bed, bro. I'm not making my bed. Appreciate you, Shaq.
All right, Oreo.
See you, bro.
All right, now we have Mr. Kingdooms himself following up Rabb, Tiller, and Oreo. Dooms, what's going on, my guy? Let's see what's going on here. Just
give him a second. He's still on mute.
Yeah, let me message him. Let him know that we're on to him. He probably joined like Rabb did, Norio did, just to be on the safe side. Oh, never mind. I don't know how to message him. He's off mute. What's going on, Dooms?
What's good with y'all, man? How y'all doing? My video should be loading up. I don't know what's it doing though.
Now Discord is a little finicky.
Yeah. A Fox 96 Dooms, best player that's never talked about in this pool. That is a fact. Jell and I talked about that earlier.
Yeah, me and you have played against him, and I hate playing against him when he's at sharp. I'll tell you that.
I hate playing against Dooms.
I
hate playing against Dooms at center. The few times I got to play against him at center at WR.
I don't know. It was kind of sweet. It was kind of sweet when I was at PG. No, I'm just trolling. I'm just joking. But Dooms, we have never had you on the podcast. Obviously, we never really talked to you. Played against you in the community. You're a big name. You started off. Just give us a little tidbit of your journey. We saw your little thing that I had posted out from the 2K League. When you were talking
draft offer.
Yeah, just give us a little a little taste of what Dooms is and how he made his journey to, one of the top players in the community.
My journey all began just for the love of the mode of Pro-Am. Way before the league was announced, plenty of people saw me uploading on YouTube and sometimes streaming, but the passion was more in the editing and sending it over to YouTube. So I think as far as like how it all like came together, it was just a silver lining of like, okay, eventually this is what my journey is going to lead me to, a league, a professional league. Because I play prom all the time. People see the videos, they see how I am, they see the entertainment, the reactions, and they relate to that. That's something that they want to see in a similar type of fashion that they want to enjoy themselves. So then you'll get like the messages, the responses, like, I love your videos, I love Jay, I love all them. Like, it all just came full circle. So it was something that I took serious as 2K advanced throughout time. And now we at this point now where it's the league. A lot of people do say I should have been in season 1. I'll never like put myself on any type of pedestal like that, like, because I go through along with how time works. When the only thing that's sure is time, and you can't rush it, you can't do anything about it. So you'll never see me like be mad about it or feeling some type of way. Even though I did tweet it out last year, I feel like it wasn't meant to be for 2K20. Because I feel like I did incredible in the combine and I streamed every game. I had the requirement of the record, 28-12 at PG, averaging a high 20, averaging double-digit assists. I did everything I thought was right and still didn't get in. So that's when it really hit me like, maybe it's not meant to be. But I knew not to give up. So that's one thing I'll forever be, is a fighter no matter what. And as far as like, I guess another thing along this side of the journey is the it's making me mad. My camera's not up. Do y'all see it or no?
No, it's not. It's not up. But
Let me leave and join back then. Let me see something.
All right.
I don't know why I was doing this stuff. I'm in the settings. I remember the last thing I said too, so I'm gonna catch right back up. Oh, I think I know why. Okay, went off. Come on, work for me. There you go. Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Ladies and
Y'all
gentlemen,
see me?
it's Dooms.
Yeah, that's on me because I had Streamlabs open too, and they used both my cameras. So I already know, but now I know. But yeah, after the combat,
Dooms, before you start, just adjust it a little bit towards the right. Well, my right.
Adjust.
My right. Probably your left. There you go.
Like that.
Yes, all sir. Right.
So yeah, so everything good now. Okay, all right. So after 2K20, I was playing post draft. That's when y'all was talking about me playing at center. So I feel like I'm solidified as a top sharp. So that's when y'all saw me playing center, and I went for center, and I feel like I did real good. I even got Defensive Player of the Year in one of the WR seasons as a center, and I did the damn thing. Like, it's no other way to put it. So it's up to the people. I never feel like you have to go out your way if people really want to pay attention to you. If you're doing your part, my part, us as players, that's you streaming, that's you uploading to YouTube, that's you tweeting out your videos. To me, that's what it is. Like, if people really want to pay attention to you, they're going to take that time to do it. So if you see me play center in different positions, then that's very much appreciated, and like, it's there. Like, I have it all over.
I'm glad that you said that. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm glad that you said that, because I for one, were like, the players that I have playing on ENG and stuff like that, and anybody that gets in my DMs, they ask me, like, what can push you over that edge? I tell them all the time, it's that content. You know what I mean? Like, you can have all the stick skill in the world. Like, if you're like, I don't really see Crazy put on a lot of content, but Crazy's on a different level. Everyone's been talking about Crazy since, he's been playing. You know what I mean? He was supposed to get drafted at a young age, but the other guys, if you're not that top tier name, you know what I mean? You're at the top of your class. You may be that 1, 2, 3. that content side is going to push you over the edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Getting your name out there. They want to see the face behind the sticks. And that's why I feel like a lot of people don't get, you know, like you got Pacers who, like I said, just repeat myself, but people need to hear it. Pacers, big YouTube organization. You got the Raptors who put a lot of stuff out on YouTube. They put a lot of stuff out on Twitter for you guys to watch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got the T-Wolves. They had a little downfall because they lost their content person, but then they started picking back up. Bears started putting stuff out for them as well. You know what I mean? You got a lot of these teams, and you going in that direction, because I saw you stuff with like Mario Kart and all that stuff. That stuff was hilarious. You know what I mean? Like Mario Kart, you're playing Smash Bros. All that. You just put different content out there. And it's just going to help you in raising your stock, because they want you to be the faces. Like, people don't understand. This is just not about being good at the game. It's a business. They want to see how they can get views off of you and how the league can make money off of you. And that's where
exactly
the sponsorship. Exactly. That's how the sponsorships come in. And you doing that, I feel like that's going to push you over the edge. And if they don't see that, you know, coming drafted, I feel in my heart that you're going to get drafted, because like every time I play against you, I hated it. I absolutely hated it. I'm not going to lie. And I feel like that's just going to push you over the edge, and you're going to hear your name called tomorrow just from that.
Yeah, it's definitely nervous. I'm definitely nervous, man. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't had this feeling in a long time. I kind of, I don't know. I just, when it comes to 2K in general, this is just the game in general, like my history of how I feel about just 2K. Like, I was never optimistic about anything. So I never once said like I would get drafted, or like I'm guaranteed. Like, you still see me to this day, like still playing. You just playing the game, no matter what it is. Like, as long as you just see me playing the game, I feel like that's what matters, because that's the dedication in it. Because we know the BS that the game is, the state that it's in right now. But like I said, like I've always been to myself in that fashion. Like I said, I'll never say or be optimistic, or I'll always be optimistic towards something like this, because you just never know what life throws at you. And like I said, time is the only thing that assures itself. But it was a lot of sacrifices made, going like all the way back to draft tournaments, all that, runaway HG. It was a wild year. So I definitely hope it's not like swept under the rug or not looked at, because we all made giant sacrifices like to get to this point. So I just hope that it pays off tomorrow.
Now, how do you feel? Okay. Now, I asked Oreo this as well. You hear all the rumors going on. Okay. You hear about possibly Reg going to the Lakers. It could be a big troll. We all know that. You know what I mean? We hear about Sav possibly going to the Heat. That's a big troll. It could be a big troll. Could not be. You hear about Radiant. Not confirmed, but let's say it's confirmed because of the post even point out going to Detroit. Okay. Do you feel like this has helped? This is going to help your stock? Your primary position is a sharp, so that's what you want to be noticed as, or you know what I mean, or obviously you're saying it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Position. But do you feel like this is going to help your stock rise? I want to ask all the prospects this. If you feel like this is going to give you that oomph, that chance, that one chance that a team takes on you.
If anything, it's definitely a roll of the dice. That's the best time that I can come to it. It may help you. It might hurt you if a team was looking at you, but they make a trade. One example, I feel like it would have been a lot of fun to go to Orlando, but they traded for Snubby. So like, I was like, well, that's not gonna happen at all, because just off my relationship with Jonah and like him getting me involved in all this, and he knows that I can play. That's my take on that. So, like I said, it's just a roll of the dice. Like, if you see somebody get traded from a team that was at that position, of course that's going to help that player in that market by any means. So I guess the last thing that's left is if it's true. But like, nah, if it's just players talking, like that's the community. That's how it's been for years. So there's no reliable source unless I see it from the league.
I feel it. Keep yourself humble, you know, so you don't, you know, get those jitters out.
I pay attention though. I will say that I pay attention. Like I said, the Orlando situation, like that was definitely. I would have loved going back there. I used to live there, so, but I don't see it happening. That's me being realistic.
What's the first thing you gonna do if you hear your name drafted tomorrow?
First thing I'm gonna do, I'm not going to work Sunday.
Man, this man's going out. He's going out.
Man, I ain't gonna lie. I already told him if my name is called on Saturday, y'all probably not gonna see me again. Like I've been saving financially. I'm good everywhere. So like the little break, it'll just be a nice break going into the league and preparing myself for that. One of the things I've talked about before that's always made its impact on my life is how much I work. And I feel like that holds me back from my full potential of playing 2K. Because I would love to lab 2K all day. And for the skill set that I have, for the hours that I put in, I feel like that's unspoken for because I'm not able to play the game every day. I'm not able to play tens every day. I would love to. I would involve myself in that, of course, but that's not my situation. I don't have it like that right now. Because all that you see behind me, that's all to myself. That's by myself. I gotta manage that. But being a part of the league and having that incentive from them, that would help. It helps. And now that's an extra 10 hours a day that I can add towards 2K and making content. So now that's a potential waiting to be unlocked. That's how I view it.
That's another thing I want to roll off of too is like a lot of these GMs and coaches have to realize, you guys are getting close to that old head age and you guys got to work. You know what I mean? You guys are out on your own. You got to make your own living, pay your own bills. And some of you guys work 16 hours straight, come home and jump on that game and you guys go to work. And I feel like some of the guys are discredited for that. It's just a lot of these other prospects have the time and they can, I don't know what the situation is, if they're financially stable with that or they live at home, whatever, they have the ability to sit there and lab the game all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just like you guys should get full credit. Every single prospect that's in the draft pool should get credit for that. Whoever has to do that and just grind it out the mud kind of like that. I give 100% props to everyone that has to do that.
Yeah. So, it's definitely, you want to give yourself a pat on the back for that, but I feel like that's not something that they care about, like the GMs and coaches and people in the league. They don't care. It's all about what you can make happen for yourself. And if you actually put in that time to play the game, to get better, to go out there, sign up for these leagues, like if you make it happen, that's what they'll pay attention to. So the more they see you, that's when I think it's the more that they care about what's going on, like outside of 2K. That's how I feel. Because if they don't see your face, they don't see you streaming every night, they don't see you playing versus the top teams, then it's like, why are you going for the league? Like you have to play against these guys daily. So I remember we had a week, we had to play RDG in 3 straight series. That was a hell week. So that was one of my busiest weeks too of working. So, but still got to make it happen.
Does seeing the mock drafts and your name not being on it make you question your play, or do you just not pay attention to it?
Nah, I actually do. I pay attention to it. It doesn't affect how I play. It really shouldn't affect how anybody play, because you should go out there with the intent to win and do your job no matter what. No matter what a draft, a mock draft, or a list says. Because if you let that dictate you, then like you're gonna be screwed in the league because you worry about what people saying about you. And if you're worrying about that, paying attention, so that's kind of backwards in my book. I feel like as long as I've been in the community, I was on lists with people that are in the league right now, the top people in the league right now, back on 17 and 18. So I'm kind of like beyond like the mock drafts and lists now, like, and when you really pay attention to them, if you go to when y'all in Sports 9 and Champs chat, like if people are being real with themselves, that chat persuades them to put who they want on the list.
Yeah, it's more of a politic thing than.
Yeah, that's like they have their say so, but that chat persuades the hell out of them on who to put. So for me to not be up there, I don't care. The only time I did ask about it was the asterisk next to my name on Sports Down list, but he said he didn't see enough of me playing, which was kind of weird and kind of proved my point because you have 3 teammates up there that I ran with like the entire pre-draft, and I made an impact running with HG. Like that's how we got it because we got in super early in the draft pool. So that made me question. Like he said, he never saw enough of me, but he had Eli, he had Dre about the game, and Cole up there. So it's like, okay, so what are we really paying attention to?
Yeah.
And after that, I never cared.
Now, Rob, I know you've never actually got to talk to Dooms. You are, like I said, new to the community, so you never got to even play against Dooms. Do you have any questions for Dooms, being that this is his first time being on the show?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to get some people out there to know you a little bit better as a person too. If you were to try to describe your mentality in one word, what would you use?
My mentality in one word. Yeah, that's 2 words. I'll say focus. Definitely focus. I feel you have to keep that in check all the time. I did a podcast a while ago about like mental health and having a strong mentality, and that was something that I opened up about towards a lot of people. And it's a lot that happened in my life that people don't know about unless you was there at the podcast, of course. But for me to overcome the adversity that I've been through and to the point that I'm at now, it's focused. Like nothing can distract me. Like my family know what's going on with me. They know the goals I'm trying to achieve. So they allow me to have that time to myself and like just a straight focus on this. And when I'm locked in, it's kind of I feel like I'm a dangerous person. So just my mental is super locked, and I'm not going to be distracted by anything that's irrelevant. That's where I'm at.
That's awesome, man. That says a lot. I think that's a big trait that if I was a coach or a GM, that's something I'm looking in for as a guy who's 100% committed.
Yeah.
So besides 2K, you obviously put out some other types of content. You're just talking about talking about mental health. What other type of content do you like to release?
The other type of content, obviously the podcast. Back on like 2K14, 2K15. I love doing these. I have no problem doing these. Anybody that reach out, I'm going to accept, no matter who it is. Podcast, of course, the Nintendo content that y'all been seeing, playing other games. That Mario Kart tweet that I put up that went viral, I wasn't ready for that at all. Like that was literally 2 days I couldn't even touch my phone. I was not prepared for that. But that shows when you see the clip and then you see like the interaction that I have with my homies, with my homeboys, all of them, when we're playing the game, having fun. It's a big reflection of what people relate to. So I feel like that's something that's very undermined as well. That the league has to get people in that can relate to an audience in order to get that attraction. So once I saw that, I was like, when you just look at the tweets and the quoted tweets, like it was just like one giant family of people that knew what that feeling was, and that's something that I leaned more towards in my content now. I want it to where people can relate. Clickbait, I don't care about, even though that brings in the views and the revenue, but you just want something that's gonna get people talking and in the manner that you want it to be talked about. So
I'm going to jump in real quick. Rob, can we get a Dooms versus Rob Mario Kart stream going one day?
I'm about it.
About it, yeah. I like that.
I don't know. You might be Doom's next clip. You might be Doom's next hot tweet. I don't know if you want to step in that because I watched that and that was the funniest thing I ever seen. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Just know
Hey,
I hold red shells.
man. I don't win every time.
Yeah, I'm holding a red shell for an entire lap. So be ready.
Oh, I'm about it.
Man, it's a lot of fun though. So I was just like I said, that was a lot of fun, man.
All right, so Dooms, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. Tomorrow I'll be rooting for you to get drafted, just so I don't have to play against you post draft. No, but seriously, I want to see you have success in the league, and I think you do bring the right mindset and the right skills to be successful in the league. So, draft Dooms. I'm just gonna keep going with hashtags with everybody that we have on tonight because everyone deserves to get drafted. But best of luck moving forward, man. And
I appreciate it, man. For real,
we'll see what happens.
It's hitting me right now. It's hitting me. And then y'all had me kind of nervous because I heard y'all say Fox's name, so I didn't know he was in the string. But Fox been a real one. Like that goes to what I was saying earlier. Like people choose to pay attention to who they want to, and he's been one of the people out there letting it be known of my play. So it's always appreciated. And I never take that for granted.
Yeah, Fox is probably one. I think he's one of the best scouts, analysts out here right now with his articles and everything. He's very true. He doesn't hold back, and he puts a lot of work and a lot of depth into his articles, which is great for these prospects too. So I mean, he's really highlighting the players that really need to be highlighted.
And then what stands out to me, he's doing that because he wants to. That's another thing. If you do something because you want to do it, that speaks for itself, in my opinion. Nobody told him to do the articles. Nobody told him to make the draft pool list, keep tracking it. He chose to do it. And now he's in the position he's in with the Pistons. And I know y'all need a shark too, Fox, so I don't think I forgot.
Hey, well, Fox, you heard it here. Coaches, GMs, kingdooms, draft him. He has the right mindset. He's got the content side. He's got the stick skill. I wish you the best of luck, my man.
No problem. Y'all boys take care. I appreciate it.
Have a good one, man.
Yep.
Have a good one.
All right, so right now we are going to be transitioning over to Ville. I'm going to allow a few minutes here waiting on Ville to see if he will message me back. In the meantime, I'm going to say...
Let's talk about some of the prospects. Let's talk about some of the prospects we had on.
Yeah, I need you to do something for me real quick. So hold on, let me...
Gotcha.
Let me mute my mic. Because I don't want this said out loud.
All right.
So Ville actually just messaged me back, so we're going to switch over to Ville. And then we got Maj coming right after Ville. And then, Joe, we can hit on the prospects that you want to talk about before we have Height on later on tonight. And then go from there. From what we've had on so far, the three guys, I definitely believe all three guys deserve to be in the league. And you get a guy like Ville that's coming up next. Ville's definitely shown that he could compete with some of these locks that are in the league and guys in his pool. So Ville's another guy that I would like to actually see get in. I don't know how possible it is for it to happen, but I'm going to be rooting for Ville just as much as I'm rooting for the next guys.
It's a teeter-totter, Matt. I mean, there's a lot of prospects. There's going to be a lot of snubs.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be a lot of people that they're going to say they're a year too early. It's not their time. They didn't put out enough content. They didn't put enough, of their face. Not enough gameplay out there. If they don't save their streams and all that comes into account as well. These mock. That's why a lot of people aren't on mock drafts because, like Junes was just saying, we didn't see enough of you from sports team. Like, I mean, there's going to be it's a little biased too. You know what I mean on these mock drafts too. So it kind of bears down on the guys that feel like they don't have that shot or they're on the teeter totter. So like they don't see the name up there. They kind of slack off. They don't put out the content. They're not playing the game. They take a little break. And that's the real deciding factor. If you're gonna let that, it's that mindset. You're gonna let that bother you. You're gonna shut down, or you're gonna push through it. Okay, you might be a year too early. Who cares? Keep pushing forward. Post draft is around. You make your burst in post draft. It's a lot of these guys got into the league. They make their burst through post draft, and they continue that through the pre draft. When all the soupy players come back, all the players from the league come back, and they make that push. That's why you're gonna see a lot of these guys that continuously stayed on the game and kept playing and kept competing and kept winning against these top tier guys that are going to get their names called tomorrow. And that's going to be, a great feeling for those guys that really want to bear down. Not saying that, these prospects didn't do that, but after they saw that they weren't invited to the closed combine, or they saw that, they didn't get enough interviews and stuff like that, that means nothing. Throw that out the window, get that out of your mind. You know what I mean? Because that's what some of the GMs, they and stuff like this stuff plays with your head. It's a mind game. If you keep pushing or you don't, and that's what's going to really pull some people back, and they're going to say, "Oh, you're a year too early." You know what I mean? You got to realize there's going to be more expansion teams. There's word around. It could be a rumor again. There could be 4 to 5 expansion teams next year. They're looking for PGs. They're looking for locks. They're going to look for those top tier players. Are you going to buckle down? Are you going to keep on pushing forward? Are you going to give up because I've been going for this for 3-4 plus years? You can't think like that. You got to keep pushing forward and just keep playing the game.
I don't know why it's doing this. Hold on. For some reason, when I go to send the Discord invite, it's taking them to the ENG Discord, which I'm not really sure why, because that they're not connected. But Rob, do you have any takeaways from the 3 guys we've had on so far? I know Oreo, because we actually got to sit down and do an interview with him.
Yeah. You could tell all 3 of them guys put their work in and are doing the right things to try and make it in the league. They take it serious. It's not like these are guys that are like just half-hearted in this. They all want it. So, other than that, it's all up in the air. It's what these GMs think.
Like, I just want to recap on the guys that we had on, just now. It's like these guys, they seem quiet, they seem humble. When you get in those streams, those guys are talking. Those guys have high energy. You know what I mean? It's like they're directing their teams. They're directing the teams in offense, directing teams on defense. Oreo, man, I'm in an Oreo stream every day. I mean, if you can't see his energy, and you want that in any organization. You got Rabb, like you said, he had a little fall from post draft, but I mean, he came back. He kept on grinding. That's the name of the game. Grind, and put your name out there. Put your face behind the sticks. They want to see you. They want to see what you can bring to an organization. They want to see how they can get views. It's a business, people. You got to realize this is a business. This is you're part of the NBA family. This is not, it's okay. It's 2K, but they're partnered with the NBA family. You're going to be on the game. You're going to sit there. You're going to play for you like a job, 16 hours straight. You know what I mean? You're going to be tired. You're probably going to be more mentally tired, and that really drains on the body more than doing a physical job. You know what I mean? And I give credit, like Dooms, like he says, he works a lot of hours. He can't lab, as much as he wants, but he still has the sick skill, and he still has the content side. So what is holding these other guys back from doing that? If you have someone that has a full-time job, has to support himself, has to pay his own bills, you know what I mean? He can't just sit at home in his basement, in his room, and just lab the game. You know what I mean? Like I said, you're going to have these guys that don't have to make that much content because those are the high-profile players, but they've been the high-profile players since jumping on the sticks. Like, I think Crazy's been a high-profile player since he was like 16 years old, 15 years old.
Yeah.
And people have wanted him from day one because that kid is just an absolute monster on the game. But, like Rabb had to, work his way up. He had a little downfall, come back up. Oreo, he slowly progressed. I remember playing Oreo back in the day too, and he's just become a phenomenal player. I feel like he's a top 5 power forward in this draft class. You know what I mean? I feel like Rabb should get his props too. He had a great combine, great close combine, man. Like I said, he was almost called the Fade King. The guy was hitting everything.
Another person who had a good closed combine from some of the tapes I've seen. Is now joining the show. And Ville, what's going on, Ville?
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good.
Oh, the man from Music City.
What's up? What's up?
Little T, you got any acapella in you? I know Justin Timberlake comes down from your way, so I want to hear something.
Nah, man, not me.
Gotta leave it to Jelly to start with jokes. Tomorrow's a big day. Where's your mindset going into tomorrow?
Man, at this point, all the work, everything I've done, man, it's out there. Nothing more I can do now, man, but just sit there and hope that one team takes that chance on me, man. I hope that one team sees all the body of work I put through up to this point. So tomorrow, it's just whatever happens either way. I'm gonna be either way, whatever happens, man. If I get drafted, if I don't, I'm still gonna keep doing this every day, and that's how I'm looking at it.
If your name is to get drafted tomorrow night,
Yep.
What is the first thing you're gonna do?
Man, I'm gonna be watching it with my dad tomorrow, man. So I don't even know what my reaction will be, man. I just know it'd be a dream come true, man. Either way, though, I'm not gonna get down if I don't get drafted. And if I do, man, I'm gonna make sure whatever team takes me doesn't regret it whatsoever.
That man is from Party City. You know he's going out.
Come on now, that's a given.
Joe, you got anything to ask him, or are you just gonna jump in and say random shit? Well, yeah. Now you turn your mic on mute.
No, I just want to get him comfortable. I don't want to be too uptight. Just come in here loosey goosey. Let's get to know Ville. Let's get to know the man behind the name. Where did you? Obviously, it's kind of self-explanatory, but how'd you come with the name Ville?
Man, whenever I started, I was just sitting there trying to think of a name that described me, man, and that's what I came up with. So it's really no deeper than Nashville and Dreamville as well. J. Cole and that whole label, that's my favorite label. So it's a mixture of both of them.
All right, now let's give him a little more depth. I haven't seen a lot of content from you. I don't, people don't know your backstory and stuff like that. So tell us about your journey to becoming one of the top locks in the Pro-Am community.
All right, so it all started back on 2K19. Man, I was just playing rec with my IRLs and stuff, and we'd be flooding teams, and I'd get messages, asking me if I played in WR leagues, and I'm like, I don't even know what that is. So I made a Twitter and whatnot. Started putting out looking for group posts on Xbox. First team I got on was a team with dude's name is Old Head Ryan. I stayed there for like maybe a week, and the first real team that picked me up happened to be Rabb, man. So Rabb's really the first person to take a chance on me in Pro-Am, and then I
was on a what? Birdie's Revenge.
Yeah, Birdie's Revenge. That was my first real team right there, and so then after that, man, it was just keep on playing. My name got out there more and more. Started winning a little bit. Then other teams would pick me up, and it just kept going until this point I'm at right now. So that's how it started, man. From the mud, looking for group posts, didn't know one person in the whole community. Everything I did was just straight me, no handouts.
I definitely remember when you first bursted onto the scene, and the Twitter was made. I do remember in 19 the Ville, and people were like, "Who is this guy?" And he came out. He came out of nowhere, and you allowed your game to make a name for yourself, and that's definitely something that we're now fourth guy in on the show. You guys have all done it. All started in rec. All have made a name for yourselves, and you're all just magically in the same draft class. And I do believe all four of you have a real high chance of getting drafted. But what exactly would it mean to you to get drafted tomorrow?
I mean, it really has been a dream for 2 years, man, since I started this. I didn't make the pool the last year. So, man, going in this year, I really, really was like, no matter what, I'm getting in that pool. I'm going to do everything I can to get drafted. From the team I put together for us to win the tournament with Mamba, Brizo, Wale, and Miles, man, going into that, I told them, like, no matter what, like, I don't care how bad we lose, no matter what, we sticking together. And that's what we did, man. And it's just that mentality, man, I'm not giving up. So If I get my name called tomorrow, it's gonna be some validation that people are taking notice of what I'm doing. And if not, well then shit, I got more to do, and I got another year to do it. But regardless, I'm getting in. I'm gonna make sure of that.
Now, what are you going to bring to an organization? What could you bring? Right off rip.
Right off rip, energy. I promise you, ain't no lockdown is gonna have that energy that I'm having. And also, man, preparation. No lockdown. Whenever I get prepared for a big series, man, I will look at the opposing point guard and I will tell you which way. I will tell you every single thing this man's going to do for 4 quarters of every single game. And every single team we play, that's what I'm going to go in and do. And any team that gets me, that's what they're going to get. They're going to get somebody that's going to come in and try to change the entire organization and try to fit in with the pieces around it. And that's what I'm looking to go in there and do.
How versatile are you?
2 through 4, man. Lockdown, shooting guard, power forward, and hell, put me on center, anything. Whatever they need, I'm going to play that position at the highest level. And I played this year, just this year alone. I switched from shooting guard to lockdown, even play some power forward. I've done it all, man. And whatever they need, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I'm going to be there for them.
Now, I know this question personally because I do know you outside of the stream. But for people, GMs, coaches, players in the league, if they end up watching this, how much of an ego do you have?
I really have no ego, and my teammates can tell you that. I mean, I have an ego in terms of like I'm one of the best, and I know I'm one of the best, but I'm not anybody that like whenever we're on that court, I have no ego, like no pride. It's all about winning. I'll be the first one. I'll be the first one to tell you I messed up, and whenever I'm on the court, man, it's 5 guys. I'm really not thinking about me myself whatsoever. I have no ego. And the really the best person has to be any of my teammates, because I know they'd vouch for that 100%.
Now, what was your first championship? Can you remember?
Yeah,
First
man.
thing you won.
Heck yeah, I remember, man. It was it was right before pre-draft last year, so it was the last pre-draft tournament last year, SSWI, and it was like I remember the teams too. It was me, Benzo, Pack of Five, Swaggy K, and Suffocates, and we played against who we played against? We played against Oreo, Comp, Goon, Rigby, and Jumper. And man, when I tell you that not one person thought we was going to win that, I mean, you go on Twitter and look at all the polls before, not one team thought we was going to win that. And we went in there and won in 5. We went in there and won in 5 games. The first game we lost by 40 points, man. I was getting tagged on the timeline like people trolling, man, and we came back and flooded them. I secured so much in side bets, man. I always remember that first championship too, because I felt like that's really when people started to take notice, like, damn, this kid ain't messing around.
Yeah, I think I voted against you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry.
That's fine, man. Nobody thought we was winning that. Shit, myself a couple times was like, damn, this team we about to play is for real. But man, we stuck it out and we got it done.
Rob, do you have any questions for Ville? For this being the first time you actually get to speak to him. Okay, we lost Rob. Wait, hold on. He's coming back.
You started cutting out at the end there, so I wasn't sure what was going on.
Sorry.
I heard my name. That was it.
Sorry, buddy. I said, do you have any questions that you'd like to ask Ville coming from this is the first time that we've had him on the show? Did I cut out in and out again?
Yeah, absolutely. No, you got it that time.
Okay.
I just got to get my phone back off mute. So like, you as a person outside of the game, Ville, what would you describe like a day in your life as? Let the people know who the man is behind the game.
All right, well, day in my life, man, normally working anywhere from 8 to 12 hours a day. I work at Lowe's. I'm the supervisor of the tool department, so I really
give the address out. I'm coming to get some free wood.
Come on, bro. But yes, I work at Lowe's, man. Usually anywhere from like 40 to 55 hours a week. I only play the game at night. So I heard y'all talking about Dooms earlier and how he has to work and not grinding the game as much, man. That's the same boat I'm in. I just really got to put on as soon as I get home. Sometimes running off of 2 hours of sleep, sometimes running off of no hours of sleep. But that's really my life, man. Just working and then coming home and playing 2K.
Yeah, man. As we were talking about earlier, man, there's nothing but respect here for that. Putting your grind
Appreciate
in
that.
like that. That's tough to be able to do, and y'all should be, recognized for doing that. The guys that are having to do that, like Joe was saying earlier.
Yeah, it's definitely hard, but man, hopefully it'll all pay off.
I need every.
I got a
Absolutely.
question.
I need every
I got a
single
question,
one.
Bill.
I need every single one of these players to talk to my wife and tell her that it is okay for me to play 2K after I get done with work.
Hey, absolutely, man.
You gotta do your house chores first, Matt. You gotta do your house chores first. But I got a question for you, Phil. Now
All right, what's
these
up?
mock drafts and everything like that, has
Yeah,
not seeing your name up there, right? Because
yeah.
I've watched all the mock drafts and everything like that,
I
and
ain't been on one of them yet.
yeah. How is that making you feel? Is that discouraging you? You know what I mean for your grind? Because like I said,
Nah,
like
not one
it's a
bit.
mind game. It's a mind game. I feel.
It really isn't mess with me one bit, man. Because especially some of the people I talk to that they got drafted and they wasn't on no mock drafts. They wasn't on none of these lists. I see some of these people on this list, and I'm like, I mean, it's bait. Like, I'm fine with it. The right people is watching those mock drafts. Is a lot of it's a popularity contest. A lot of it has no depth behind how they're coming up with those. I mean, like I said, it's just some of them's complete random people doing them. I don't take none of it to heart. If I was on it, I probably wouldn't even retweet it. It doesn't really phase me either way.
Now, do you feel that I've seen your stats? I made some graphics for you. Do you
Yeah,
feel like your stats in the combine will push you to get your name called tomorrow? You feel like you had a good enough kind of thing? I know it's kind of difficult to look at locks. Oh, like you can't really. I think that's one of the hardest positions to kind of look at. You know what I mean? Kind of
it
like
is.
if you just post out your stats, like lock, you think like he's gonna have like 8 steals a game. Like this and
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like really watching the gameplay. Really dives in deep into a lock's game because if he's creating chaos on the court and stuff like that. But do you feel that your stats alone, because I know how you play, because I hate playing against you. I remember when you played against with Rabb and Brady's Revenge. You guys, I think I was playing with Savage Duwork at the time. I think on No Fear, and you guys flooded us, which is pretty bad. But do you feel like that pushed you to the edge where you feel like your name's gonna be called tomorrow?
Man, it really should have because in the combine I played like nothing but the top point guards. I didn't have like one game where I played against a point guard that like you wouldn't have heard of. I played against C's 4 times. And I know all y'all saw C's stats where he was dropping 70 on people, 60 and 50. I played him 3 or 4 times and he never had over 24 on me. Man, I played all the top and I really like not try like I didn't have no big name centers behind me that whole combine. None of the chaos is none of that. Couple of the times it was me and a guard playing because they had messed up the rosters and didn't even give us a center for 2 of my teams. So I mean, I was really out there with my back against the wall and showing out the whole time. And I feel like anybody who was watching knew that. I barely missed. I think I missed like 2 threes, maybe the whole combine. Like I did literally every single thing I could to put.
You shot at a very high clip. I remember you
Yeah,
shot at like almost like 80% clip.
yeah. Like I barely
Yes.
missed any threes, and I mean, I feel like I did one of the best of any lockdowns if you're talking about purely lockdown playing against a point guard, making them do bad. Like I feel like I had one of the best lockdown performances in the whole combine. The stats show it. I mean, I don't know. 9 points, 82% from 3, but I mean, lockdown, it's kind of you kind of score when you kind of take what they give you a lockdown. It's not like you're out there isoing. So I mean, I think anybody that watched, I had one of the best combine performances.
I definitely agree with that. Talk your shit. Best way to put it. I'm not gonna hold you up much longer. I appreciate you coming on the show, Ville. Hopefully,
Yeah, appreciate you having me, man.
Hopefully, there's a lot of success in the future. I'm hoping that your name gets called tomorrow. I'm hoping we could actually get you on and do a show based around you in the near future.
Appreciate that, man. I'd love it.
So I will definitely be reaching out. And for whoever does not follow him, his @ is the Ville 2K, correct?
Nah, it's just the Ville now.
The Ville. Make sure you follow him on Twitter. Hopefully we get to hear his name called tomorrow night. But again, thanks, Ville, for coming on. Definitely appreciate it, and good luck tomorrow night.
Hey, appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good one.
All right, so let's switch over now. We got Maj coming on.
We got Big Man Maj in the building. Big Man Maj.
Maj can't hear us. Now he can hear us, but now he's got his mic muted. Maj, what's going on?
What's up, y'all? How y'all doing?
Mr. Content himself.
Yes, it is.
What's up? One sec. There we go.
I was gonna say we can't get.
He got the high quality. He got the high quality camera.
I was gonna say there's no way we get the content guy in here and he doesn't put on the camera. What's going on, Maj?
You got to do it right. You know what I'm saying? How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
We doing good. How are you doing? Draft tomorrow. How are you doing?
Man, focus. Really, that's it. Really trying to keep myself in the right, positive mind frame to go into tomorrow with a positive mindset. That's all it is.
Now, you're one of the big. I feel like you're one of the biggest content guys. Just from your GTA role playing. You brought that over to the 2K with your documentaries, which are phenomenal.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I think it's probably like the best content I've seen from any prospect. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like there's guys that have been getting help from the 2K League. Props to them for getting on, the 2K League kind of thing, helping them out. But you have done it on your own. Just straight. If you want to talk out the mud content, that's out the mud content.
Literally.
Yeah, like that's the biggest thing you can do. Like I feed this all to everybody. I say it all the time. I repeat myself. Content is a big thing for the 2K League. They don't realize that.
Huge.
Do you feel like that is how let's say this? How did you transition? The GTA role playing kind of thing, because you're kind of quiet. You didn't have a lot of content out there for the 2K. Were you really thinking like how can I really step out the box and put myself out there above of these other prospects? Like what was the steps that you came up with those little documentaries you had?
So honestly, going into the first one I made, I saw a lot of people, they started getting the 2K hopeful videos that the league started doing for certain people. And I was already, I felt sad because I had an idea of doing mine beforehand. And so as soon as I saw them do that, it was like, oh man, I was already thinking about doing something like that, like a documentary for myself. I was like, and I saw like, and not to say anything about anybody else's, but I saw the way the league did theirs, and I saw like the ideas I had of my own. So it kind of just fueled me into saying like, I feel like I'm gonna be 100% different. Like that was a confidence I had from the jump. Like, cause I personally do videography, like for my, I wouldn't say like full-time job, but that's another source of income for me. So to be able to just tie those two together, it was just natural. It was easy.
I thought we'd come out with a rap video. I ain't gonna lie to you, from the first one. So I was like, this man's about to drop some lines.
Yeah, that was the whole plan. So honestly, I knew a lot of people were gonna come with like I'm not gonna say like the sad stories, but they come with like, when you see slow motion videos, you see a lot of sad, slower songs, or the thing is trying to tell you like my life was so hard and I'm coming from something so tough and I'm coming from this and that. I wanted to kind of come with something that was like, I'm going through so much shit in my life I don't even want y'all to know about. I'm not going to tell y'all about that because that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about 2K, why I think I'm great at 2K. So I wanted to make it like slow motion cinematic, but also like positive and not so, I'm not going to say a sob story, but like not so much of just looking for, letting y'all know too much. I just wanted y'all to know what my goal was for the league only, not just what's going on around me and all this other stuff. Cause being who I am, it's not much different than every other person, in the world. Like I'm a normal guy. When it comes to street stuff, everybody else is going through the same type of things. It's not too different, just different variations. And so I just wanted to be different. I didn't want to talk on the normal stuff. So that's what it was.
No, I feel it. Everyone's got that story. Everyone's going through hardships, and but I liked how you put yours out there. You know what I mean? Like this is my dream. This is what I want to do. Kind of thing. Like I feel like you're a great lock. You played center for a little bit and stuff like that. You balled out on that. You know what I mean? Like we saw the combine. I watch your regular games. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like it puts you over the top with these other guys that aren't putting out content. You know what I mean? But give us a little, in depth of Maj, how he became one of the top locks, if you want to say, one of the great centers in the 2K Pro community.
So honestly, let's start all the way back to where it started. I started doing I played in the SBA, which is what turned into like eventually emerging and becoming an MPBA. And 2K15, I was only 14 years old. I was playing lockdown. I was playing small forward just at the time, and I was playing small forward there. And from that point on, I met so many different people. I started doing so many different things, and I started branching into when the MPBA was actually created. I started doing like little skits on GTA back when roleplay wasn't actually a thing. So I'd go in there and just go online and get people to look up and make characters that look like the admins in the MPBA and look like other people in the community. And like, you know how people would have beef, I would make it like seem like it was like a real beef in the storyline and stuff like that. And so I've always kind of been super into content. It's just always, you know, getting mature enough and trying to perfect my craft. And so then as I got into 2K, I just really started, like I said, meeting so many different great people and growing through the years. And being 15 years old, I didn't have the luxury that all these other 15-year-olds to play with, you know, not back then they weren't league players. I used to play against Dimes and all these other people, Majestic, all these other people in the rec back then in the SBA leagues, because that's what 15 was in. But I didn't think it was going to be a league. So I'm going into high school from 16. I think they added the league in 17. And in those 2 years, I think from 16 to 17 was my best years. I don't know if people seen, I played basketball a lot in real life. And so I was really focused on that, trying to get a scholarship. And, you know, there was no league, so there was no point for me to just focus on the game. But then as I got into 18, when they introduced the league and all those different things, I think I was a month short. A month short from the birth date when I turned 18 to even be eligible. So I didn't go for it. And then finally last year, I met Team Chef with Rapids, God Life Leak, Zay Poppy. A lot of those guys I already knew for a long time, but I was just searching for people with the same hunger and the same type of, they felt like they were slept on, because I always felt like I was so good at the game. I've been playing since I was little. So it's like, I feel like I was one of the OGs. Like I was in the MPBA's Hall of Fame, first class they've ever made at 16 years old. So it was like, I always felt like I was good, but I wanted, and so was Zay as well. So we just wanted to find people with the same mindset that had like, felt like they were slept on, like they were hungry. So we came in, met Team Chef, and that's when I started becoming locked. That was my first time ever playing like real lockdown. And we go to Dallas and we play JBM, and in the mix of all those things, beating No Smoke and making little contents and dancing on the stream and posting it and people going crazy, like little stuff. That's what truly started to form who Samaj is, Maj, Magic, all in one.
Yes, I hated you on Team Chef. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I played against you and it was not a fun time. Now you had a good combine. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like after that, like what made you switch to the center role?
Honestly, coming into this year on Next Gen, once people started forming their teams and really trying to get people going, Next Gen changed the whole gameplay of everything. So not Next Gen, I'm sorry, 2K21. 2K21 changed the gameplay, and it was like a weird, even on current gen, it was kind of weird. And I was coming in to play lock, and I thought me and Chef were going to be like sticking together on current gen, but my team, our guards, they wanted to play with a certain lineup, and it wasn't the meta. And, you know, I don't care if it's not the meta as long as it works. And I didn't think it was working. I didn't think it was good. So we kind of got into it. It just went south, and I was teamless for almost the whole year. I didn't have a team to play with almost in the entire year. I ended up I ended up playing pickups. The only way I could play and find people to like remember even playing with me was through pickups, because I got left out to dry. Like it was in the middle of the year, the beginning of the year, where everybody's got their team set. We played 1 or 2 tournaments, broke up, and nobody wanted me no more. So everybody had their locks. They started thinking about like all these other new guys that came in, and they just threw me under the rug. So I had to go find something. Honestly, the only reason I went to center is because I had to survive. And I started in 2K16 when I did get like those awards at MPBA and stuff. I was a center, so I just thought it would be easy enough to get picked up at that, and it was something I could transition to pretty smoothly. So that's what I went for.
Now switching back to lock, you just want to show people that you still had it?
That was it. Honestly, I'm gonna be 100% real. I had a couple interviews. People told me that they wanted me to go back to lock. I didn't expect too many people to remember me at lock last year, but they said like, bro, you did what you did against JBM on the stage. Not too many people even went to IRL tournaments. So, and you know, I had a great energy, and I got to showcase who I was as a person, like in front of the coaches. So they remembered me for that, and that helped me a lot. So I went back to lock, and I just went straight back to try to see and show those coaches and show those people that, you know, there's a lot of great locks out here, But you know, it's not that hard. And if you want somebody that's really gonna do the little stuff, you got to get somebody who's willing to do the little stuff, and that's me. So
I think you showed them that, you know, what you just said is absolutely true. Now, coming into this draft, what is the first thing you're going to be doing if you hear your name called?
Crying. 100%. Like, I wish I could lie to you. I'll cry. I'm gonna cry. I can already tell.
Very, very humble. I honestly like that answer. I don't think a lot of people, because a lot of people saying I don't know what I would do with this and that, but I think there's gonna be a lot of tears. Now with the shakeup, you're hearing all the rumors, right? You're hearing all the rumors about the big trades and all this stuff. Could be trolls. You never know. But you know, I think there's gonna be a lot of shakeup tomorrow. I think there's gonna be a lot of draft boards that are gonna get crumbled. I think they're gonna have to, you know, they got their backups. You know, they're professionals, the coaches, GM, scouts, and they have their backups. But do you feel like this is pushing you further to your goal, to your dream? Do you feel like it's pushing you up in the draft boards?
For sure. Honestly, I feel like it's helping me with a lot of people and teams feeling like they have to move up in the draft board. A lot of people are looking at it as, you know, they don't have that much confidence in the draft class. And somebody that me, I don't really consider, I'm in this draft class, but I consider myself an OG. I consider myself somebody that could have been in all the other draft classes. So, and when I talk to coaches, they you know, there's somebody that they want people that's consistent and who's been doing it for a minute, not somebody that just enjoyed it with them being on the best team this year and them doing it, you know, this one pre-draft because they were around the best. You know, something I feel like is good about me, I do a lot with, you know, people who aren't usually considered the greatest. And I'm usually not on, and my team's usually on the rankings, and I'm usually still on the list. And so I feel like that's really just gonna help me a lot because these teams are they're nervous now. They're pushing. They're getting worried about some of these draft picks. I can already tell they're getting on edge. So they're gonna start going for guys who are a little more consistent because I got that same swagger as somebody that was already in the league, and that's what they're looking for.
I like that answer. Now rolling over to that, you know, I don't know if you've been watching the mock drafts and all that stuff. You know, your name hasn't been on the list or anything like that. Do you feel a little disrespected? Not one. I've been watching these very closely, very, very closely. How does that make you feel? Is that I know you seem like a very high energy guy. Nothing gets you down. But does that, you know, does that bring you down a little bit? Does that make you rethink yourself in this career path?
It did at first. It honestly did at first because it's people say like lists don't matter and these things don't matter, but if you're not getting any recognition, like then what are you doing? Are you even doing good? Like, so it kind of can get depressing. It can hit you, but after a while, I had to go back to my beginnings in life, and I had to remember, you know, I'm not somebody that's ever had any handouts. I've never been somebody that's ever had a step ahead of anybody. I've never been somebody that's, you know, people picked first. I played basketball and sports to where I played with the best teams in my state, literally, to where I was the last man on the bench, and I played on the other team where I was on the worst team. And it's like not the state, but you know, like not as good teams. And I was the best player. Then I've been on teams where I was on another best team, and I was like the third guy, and then the best guy. And you know, I've seen it all, and I've went through all the stages in real life of being able to, you know, be counted out. Like, even like I said in my first video, the school I went to, I easily could have went to another school. And I was literally at this school named Bowie High School all the way into the first day of school. I transferred the first day of school because right before school started, my neighborhood school had a Meet the Cougars Day, which is like you just get to meet the teachers and see stuff. And the energy they had there was just so... Yeah. Oh, wait. So I got to meet the Mills. So, you know, no, I'm playing. But yeah, they had like the little school meet day and the energy was amazing. And at that moment, I swear to God, I went home and told my mom, you know, I want to make this team. I want to make this school, my area around me, like the cool school. I want people to say, like, I want to play ball here because everybody like would be in the neighborhood. They would transfer to the other school. And that's what I was going to do. And I didn't want to do that. And going through that and being at that school, being counted out. And like I said in the first video, I was my name's on the wall. First team to go to playoffs, and I don't know, since like 63, and that was the best fun in the world. Like, that's stuff that I do it for. And so I've learned to adapt and enjoy being the underdog, and I don't think I'd ever want it any other way, because when you're at the top, you just got a bunch of people preying on your downfall and showing fake love.
Well, I'm loving the energy from you. You know what I mean? You're a very positive, humble person. let's dive a little bit deeper into Maj. Like tell us about we're not gonna get too deep in your life because this is about 2K and stuff like that. But tell us about your sports life. Like you said, you played some basketball teams. I seen some of your clips. You had little bunnies look like you jump over a piece of paper. But tell us about that. Tell us about your journey in that. Did you have any offers to go to play D1 out of high school, anything like that?
So I had opportunities to where I could have played, and I ended up having countless D3, and I didn't want to do that. And I had D2 schools I could have went to and played on, and had walk-on opportunities to where I could have played on D1 level. And honestly, I feel like that tied back into the school I went to and the things I did, and kind of that same situation. Like if I went to another school, I guarantee like my connections, like in my school, coaching wise, everything I got was purely off of AAU. Like high school wise, I didn't really get no recognition except first team all district and things like that, newcomer and stuff. Like I always got that stuff. But all like the college stuff came from straight AAU ball when I played summer and was traveling, doing all that stuff. And so a lot of that stuff started coming, and like just like this, I felt like I could have went and easily played. Like, and then I go, like if I'm gonna be 100% honest, and people always call me crazy and call me a liar for this, but the league got announced my senior year of high school. I remember I went on a visit. They were telling me at the time I was thinking I was still gonna be eligible to even just play in the combine. Just off the thought of me feeling like I could play in the combine at the time, I go to this visit, and that's in the back of my mind. And as I'm at the school, me, my mom, and coach are all riding together. Great visit, it's amazing. And on the way home, I literally just say, I don't think I want to play basketball anymore. Never said this to anybody ever in my life. Never said anything like that. I just told them out of the blue I didn't want to play, and they thought I was crazy. Why? But in my heart, my mom knows I told her when I got home is because I wanted to do something else. At the time, I didn't know what it was. For me, it was always going to be like I wanted to go for the league, but I wanted to just do videography. I wanted to do all the things I'm already doing now. I felt like I could do it good enough to get paid at that age, even though I wasn't as good. It's just that's what I wanted to do. I always knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I used to have T-shirts that kids wore in my high school game. I had a brand named SB. And a lot of those people, they wear, I used to have SB shirts, and I had kids wearing the SB shirts during school to my games and stuff like that. And that's always what I've been about. Like, I started doing YouTube at the time. I think like one of my videos was doing like, now it's at 300,000, but at the time it was like 50,000. And I thought I was on. I just knew I was the one. At that moment, it was like God was telling me, you could do whatever you want to do. And it hit me like a rush, and I told my mom I don't want to go to school no more to play basketball. So I just ended up going to school in my city and not going, and ended up staying home and just gave it up right then and there at that moment, literally.
I like it. So you have this hustle and grind since a young age. I really like that. Now, in one word, how can you what's one word that to describe yourself to an organization?
Passionate. I feel like honestly that's the perfect word to describe it. Like the state I'm in right now, passionate. I feel like that's the best way to describe it, because you just want somebody that has passion. Whether it's if you have passion, that's gonna push you to drive and do what you got to do and finish your stuff. That's gonna push you to go harder. That's gonna push you to be inspired. That's gonna push you to do a lot of things. And that's how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling very self-motivated, very inspired, and all these things just because of I put the work in. And so I'm just very proud. So I would definitely just go with passionate. That's the one word. Like I'm just feeling like I got a lot of emotions right now. Like you ever been in a mindset where you don't know if you want to cry, you don't know if you want to scream, you don't know if you want to just smile, you don't know if you want to do what, but you're just so energetic and passionate. And that's how I'm feeling right now. Just passionate.
I love it. All right. I've been talking enough. Matt, Rob, you guys got anything to ask Maj?
I don't have anything to ask, Maj. I'm just going to point out that I've raved about you all day long. Just how humble you are. The DMs that we exchanged today, between talking to Rob and talking to Jelly about it, you were definitely probably my favorite person to DM, and then Jelly.
Oh yeah,
Jelly.
Yeah,
Jelly.
every
Jeffrey. Then Jelly goes and steals the whole interview. But I mean, best of luck to you tomorrow. I'm really hoping you get drafted. Drafted. I
appreciate that.
Drafted, not drafted. I would like to try to get you on the show eventually and actually do a whole show with you. Give you a little bit more than 15, 20 minutes. Because you're definitely a character that would be fun to sit here and pick a brain with. So we could definitely work something out in the future. Love to. And, Rob, do you have any questions for Miles before we let him go?
Like you said, Jelly kind of came in and just took over the interview there, but so he hit a lot of the good questions. But yeah, I mean, Matt was talking to me all day at work today about the messages y'all were exchanging before you came on the show, and I mean, we appreciate it.
It means the world to me.
And you're the type of guy that I'd be glad to have back on this show at any time. So we're definitely setting that up for the future, and I hope to see your name come off the board nice and early tomorrow.
Thank you. I want to tell all of y'all, thank you for even having me. Like I said, I would love to come back. And like I told everybody, like I told you in the DMs, man, I'm so grateful for y'all to even consider me coming on here. Like I said, most people haven't called my name. I haven't been on one list. I haven't got anything. So I don't care if, like I told you, I don't care if it was just us talking. I don't care if it was just my mama watching. I don't care about anything. I really enjoy just having this conversation and having this opportunity. I would love to come back, honestly.
All right, if you don't follow him on Twitter, it is SB_Maj. Make sure you hit him with a follow. Also, it's Draft Maj until he's drafted tomorrow. Again, Maj, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, and thanks for all the good wishes. Y'all have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Let me get Curry in here. Jelly was like, I'm taking over. It's a takeover Jelly show. Nah, I'm cool with it. Definitely allows me to.
Flowing,
dude, I'm not gonna say anything because Gel hit every question. Gel did it professionally. Allowed me to sit back, relax, take in all the answers. So it was definitely something that I enjoyed doing.
Looking like he was falling asleep.
We're changing it. We're changing to the Zero Dark Show.
The Zero Dark Show. All right. All right, it's a Zero Dark Show, and his first guest is Mr. jcurry. What is going on, jcurry?
What's going on, fellas? Thanks for having me tonight.
Good.
Cool.
I'm seeing a pattern here. We've gotten guys that are in ENG or have played for ENG.
No pattern whatsoever. It's just a coincidence. I think he had what? You played for what? One wager was over there. You guys just blew out throwdown.
Yeah, I mean, those are all my guys over there that y'all had playing on PS5. So I've been cool with them. I played with them at the end of post draft for a little bit last year, and those are just my guys. So yeah, we ended up playing throwdown that wager a few weeks ago. I think I was like last week, maybe 2 weeks ago. So yeah.
One thing
now,
I forgot it's a Jelly show.
We never talked before. Sorry, Matt.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. We never talked before. Never had you on the show. I've seen your tweets. You're putting out a lot of content out there, which is great. I'm repeating myself over and over through this podcast. The content side, guys don't realize, really boost your stock. Again with the markets, Pacers. They're a high content organization with the YouTube. You got the Raptors with the Twitch, and the whole Family Matters thing they did with Kenny and stuff like that. What made you decide to start putting out that kind of content? Did someone put a little bug in your ear, or were you like, you know what? I think this is gonna help me in my stock, or it's just something you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was a combination of both. Like, I'm really good friends with the YouTuber, Young Precise, if you guys are familiar with who that is. That's like basically my IRL. Like, he lives in a different state than me, but that's my guy. Like, we talk just about every day. So it really influenced me to kind of put out like the content aspect of everything. And then I felt like uploading my gameplay to YouTube instead of like streaming, because I feel like my internet isn't as sufficient as others. So I feel like being able to upload the content that I was at the beginning and still now for the draft, obviously, and being able to upload all my gameplay to YouTube as well was a big thing for me. Like you said, a lot of people know me for my content, but I feel like I can hoop, and I just wanted to be able to display both at once, and I feel like I did so.
Great. Now, rolling over to that, run us down the road of where jcurry started off. You know what I mean? Like, give us your little your little life story of 2K, how you became one of the top sharps in the game. So
yeah, I mean, just like every 2K player, I start off in the park. play with my IRLs. We ended up hopping into the rec. We ended up finding 2 more guys to kind of get into the competitive scene in about late 17. I want to say like the spring of 2K17. I was little like 15-year-old at that time. So like we were playing in WR and stuff like that when it wasn't as popular. And then over the years, I started meeting new people in the community. I ended up teaming with Phil the Goat from RDG. We ended up making a team with a good group of guys for a while. And then obviously this year and towards the end of post-draft last year, I ended up getting really competitive and ended up winning a few tournaments and stuff like that with Stan Tall and obviously playing with Vile and Seas this pre-draft. So obviously starting off in the park with my IRLs, now possibly being drafted tomorrow night is so insane to me still.
That's good. Now, can you run down the combine stats for us? What you had, kind of thing.
So I ended up getting stuck at point guard when obviously my primary position is shooting guard. So I played on a shooting guard build at point guard, which like didn't help me, but I feel like I definitely put up good numbers. I ended up averaging about like 18 and 7, so pretty good averages. I didn't make the closed combine just because there's some stud PGs honestly, and they were putting up like 30 and 20 basically. So it was kind of tough to compete with that. But I felt like playing out of position at the 1, I really showed off my versatility, and I was happy with how I played.
That's good. Like a lot of things, like people are like, oh, I didn't get invited to the closed combine. I feel like too that can be an advantage to some people. You know what I mean? Like there could be some GM scouts, like, oh, let's keep on the hush on. Oh, we're not gonna put his name up there to go in the closed combine because we want to keep an eye on him. I feel like some of the people that got put into the closed combine, they want to take a deeper look and really see if they can handle that pressure. So I mean, you did your thing. I mean, from going from shooting guard to point guard, you put up great numbers. You know what I mean? So it's like you're out of your comfort zone, and stuff like that. But it's just like this whole thing, like with the content side and everything like that. Do you feel like that's pushed you over the edge over these other prospects?
Oh, I definitely feel like for sure. For me, it's always been consistency, whether it's been with my content or my play. Obviously, I posted a lot of gameplays, more so than other content. I definitely put in other content. I made my own 30 for 30 about my high school basketball season 1 year and stuff like that. So I definitely kept the content aspect of it, but it was more so to make the content, to be able to put my name out, to be able to get these GMs to start watching me. And eventually that started happening. The interviews started rolling in and stuff like that, and teams seem interested. And I can only hope for the best tomorrow night.
Now you've seen the mock drafts out there and stuff like that. Your name possibly come up a couple times and stuff like that. Has that really dampened your outlook on your career path for the 2K League?
I mean, it would be awesome to mention those mock drafts, but at the end of the day, there's only one draft that counts. So I guess I'm just hoping the people that are getting paid to do this, to be able to scout and watch the games, and obviously the GMs that are making the selections at the end of the day are watching the right things and obviously picking me tomorrow night.
Now, you heard all the rumors going around, right? Seeing all the little troll stuff and all this stuff. I know I'm saying the same questions, but I want to pick people's brains on this. It's just let's get to know what your mindset is. Do you feel like this is with the whole thing of the Reg going to LA or Sab going to Miami? Now we got Radiant, who's almost confirmed going to Detroit. Do you feel like this has raised your stock or lowered your stock?
I'd say for sure. I mean, I know a lot of teams like me, especially those teams that traded for those point guards. They obviously open shooting guard slots, and I feel like I have good connections with all 3 of those point guards. Honestly, I definitely say that the rookie point guards as well are great connections for me with Duran, Dre. Obviously, I was close with Ant Season, but he's obviously kicked out now. So basically, whatever team is open for a shooting guard, I feel like I can put in great work with whoever they have at the 1. And honestly, with these teams trading away, obviously, their picks for these top PGs, I feel like I could slot in really well with them.
Now, in one word, how can you describe yourself as a player?
I'd say I'm like extremely hardworking and outgoing. I always want to make the team better with myself. I feel like I always want to be in the film room after a loss. Of course, I'm gonna be a little heated after like a big loss, something like that. But I definitely just want to come back the next day and just be better.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's the passion behind it, of being a competitive 2K player. A lot of people take that sometimes as toxic, but it shows that you have competitive side, that you want to win at any cost.
I'll give you 2 words.
You got any questions for?
He's two words for jcurry's green light. From from the tape I've seen, I mean, I'm happy you're on the PlayStation side. You know, I may have been dazed out real quick while Joe asked this question. If he didn't, what are you gonna do tomorrow if you get drafted?
I've been telling people that I'm gonna be more excited to be drafted than I would be like ashamed if I don't. If I get drafted, man, like it's just gonna be like such a sigh of relief. It's honestly just gonna make my day, maybe even make my year. Honestly, no matter where I go, honestly, I feel like I can definitely make that team a contender right away, especially with these teams trading for top point guards and obviously bringing in these top point guard prospects if they traded away those picks. So I definitely feel that I'm going to be able to come in and contend. But if I do get drafted, like you said, man, it's going to be a hell of a night.
Now, this might be a bait question. Do you feel like you are the top shooting guard in the pool?
I definitely see myself in that like high tier 2 category. I definitely give my props to the guys that are quote unquote better than me or competing at a higher level than me. Like guys, Reese, 630, absolute studs. Like they're going to go top 5 for sure. Like absolute great shooting guards, but I feel like I'm nothing crazy worse than them. I feel like those guys have great talent, but I feel like I'm not that far behind them.
Rob, do you have any questions for Curry, or if we're gonna let Joe? You got another question? You want to jump in real quick?
No, I have nothing. You heard enough from me. I've almost taken over the show, so I'll let you guys in.
Rob, you have any questions?
So, you're saying you're just behind some of these guys at shooting guard, but we spoke earlier about your versatility to play the one at a high level too. Do you think that gives you an advantage over some of them guys as far as what teams may need?
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard about like the league build and stuff like that, it's going to be very similar to what next gen is. And there's really no pure sharp build on next gen. So I feel like my versatility to be able to be comfortable with the ball and be in kind of like a point guard situations, like secondary ball handler, I feel like I can come in and definitely play that role extremely well as long as as well as the pure sharp.
Because I don't really know much. Like I've seen you play, I've seen a lot of your YouTube material, but do you have an ego, and would you be willing to be a 6 man?
Of course. I mean, I'm grinding to make the 2K league, whether it's a shooting guard position or if it's a 6-man position. So at the end of the day, get drafted tomorrow night to any organization, I will be extremely grateful.
Oh, you can see he's only an Xbox guy, Curry, because I see screenshots, I see stream, I watch everything, and I can tell you that this man is a dog.
No, I've seen Curry's stream. I've seen a couple streams Curry's been in, and I've seen a lot of the material he's putting on YouTube. And I mean, he is a green light, and averaging 18 and 7 in the combine when you have to move from the 2 to the 1. That's not something a lot of people can do. You're talking about getting completely out of your comfort zone, boosting up your IQ a little bit, having the ball in your hands at all times, and really now being the number 1 option. So that definitely takes a lot of credit for what you've done in the combine. Now, I see some trophies over there in the right hand, your left hand side. Are they your trophies?
Yeah, so you can see kind of like right here, there's kind of a medal hanging. That's my division state championship medal. I won that in junior year during high school basketball. And then the big trophy is a 3v3 tournament that me and my buddies won a few years back.
Now, how have you transitioned your real life basketball into 2K? Because everyone's like, oh, it's a video game, this and that, but you can still take some real life aspects of the game into the video game.
Right, and like for me being a sharp, my real life was like catch and shoot guy, running off screen, stuff like that. So obviously with me being a sharp, like knowing how to work an off ball screen and stuff like that. Like I've come up in interviews talking about some of my strengths being able to like read how to come off an off ball screen, and teams have been like, well, our shooting guard last year, blah, 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 didn't even know how to do that. And honestly, I feel like it's one of the most simple aspects of the game, but some people can't do it. So I feel like with basketball IQ and like running off screens and stuff like that from experiences in real life, definitely translate over to the game.
Do you have any final last words you would want a GM or a coach to hear before tomorrow's draft?
I mean, I'm gonna be extremely grateful for wherever team takes me. Everyone knows what I can do. I'm just hoping one team takes a shot on me.
I appreciate you coming on. Tomorrow, I'm going to be rooting to see your name called. Hopefully, we get to see you put on a cap and get into the league and make some noise. Best of luck moving forward. And Jelly looks like he's got another question.
Oh yeah, I mean, if not, I got an E&G hat for you. Don't worry about that.
Hey, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate that. All right, fellas, you guys have a good night. I appreciate you for having me.
Appreciate you coming on.
All right, thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
That boy can jig. I'll say that now. He could jig better than a lot of the guards that are on Xbox. But I'm not.
That man's a dog. I mean, like all the guys that we had on tonight, they're all diamonds in the rough. I mean, some got bigger names than others, but because a lot of the scouts and everything have key eye on them. But the guys that we had on, those are diamonds in the rough people. I'm telling you right now, they're going to bring high energy. They're going to give you what you want in your organization. And I'm not being biased because a lot of the guys are in ENG, but it's just the fact that now they've been grinding for a while, and these guys are going to bring. They're going to bring the energy. They're going to bring what a team wants, and they're going to mesh well. You can tell they don't have egos. They want to play the game they love. They want to get to that next level where they deservingly need to be.
Jell and Rob, do you think you guys could hold a conversation real quick? I have to make an important phone call.
Go right ahead, my man. Do what you got to do.
All right. I know you've enjoyed talking a lot, so.
I love to talk. I mean, this is what we're here for, concept. People want to hear about these prospects. You know what I mean? Just run down the list. Not even the guys that we had on this show, but just the guys in the draft pool. I mean, it's sad to see, like, this whole ant season thing came up, and people are taking out, oh yeah, he's out the league, he's this, he's that. I didn't like the way it was put down. I don't take off some of the actions that have happened in the past with him. I don't like that at all. It's not up to the people to start posting this and that and trying to, play a guy's downfall. That's not the way we should do it. This community is toxic enough and people have their actions, but that should have been upon the league itself. And scouts and stuff like that to and coaches to see that, all right, this guy's not fit for it. He needs to change his attitude. He needs to, be held back for a year to clean that act up and come back stronger and as a better, quote unquote, if you want to say a better person. But yeah, it's just like a lot of shenanigans have been happening with that. So that changed a lot of draft boards for a lot of people, and I feel like there's going to be a lot of chaos tomorrow. With these draft boards, especially with all the rumors of the trades going on. I feel like they're not publicly putting them out there as of right now because, they want to keep it. I think they want to keep it hush hush. They want to make it's better content. I feel like if you have draft day trades, that's gonna be great. I feel like that's gonna be great. But the other thing with the draft day trades is like the assets of the tiers and what these teams are giving and how they're switching up these guys, I don't feel like it fits. Like, it should be pushed towards just like the regular NBA money and higher draft picks and stuff like that. I just don't know how that's going to work because like a lot of these trades are looking at like, oh, it's a 1 pick for this guy. And that's like, it's a tier 1 guy. Like, how do you only give a 1 pick and it just moves stuff around a little bit? It does create a lot of chaos. You know what I mean? I feel like a Sav, he should be traded for like 4 picks, or a Radiant should be traded for, you got to give your whole squad up. He had like a kind of a lackadaisical year, post draft, whatever it was, and didn't go his way that well. But I feel like, a lot of this stuff just has to get reassessed by the league. I feel like all the GMs and coaches have to get together and really determine how these trades and it'll work out for the draft and what we're going to see going forward, especially with the Spanish teams coming, because there are rumors about more expansion teams. I mean, they're obviously going to be because there's more NBA teams or other organizations that can, get their bid on to be an NBA team like Gen G. I know, Rob, you're kind of new to the pro MC and stuff like that, but hearing these guys tonight, it's just like it's a different aspect. You get to know the person. What do you see out of these people? You know what I mean? Like, you feel like they have that niche to be in the league. You saw the gameplay. We pulled you in. We started watching streams right off the rip to get you, like, throw you in the water with the sharks kind of thing. But just now you're getting to know the people. What are your ideas? What do you think about this?
It's crazy to see the focus and the drive these guys have. Like, they don't treat this like it's a game. This is their life. This is their livelihood. That's the way they're looking at it. And the fact that they're not getting talked about, like, I get this is a mentality that a lot of guys have, but if you learn who these guys are and couple that with their gameplay, I don't see any way these guys aren't going to come in and make a positive impact on your 2K team.
Yeah, it's just like it's like we got to know the person, behind the sticks, and that's what people want to see. Like, I'm gonna bring this up 1,000 times, people. Content. They want to see your
Absolutely,
face.
it's a business, like you said. These teams want to know that you can generate content, which will generate views, which generates a profit. It's a business.
And a lot of these guys are putting on, like jcurry. He has great content. If no one has seen his content, go check out his page, man, and go check out his YouTube videos and everything like that. He's putting out great content. Maj putting out great content. Oreo, if you're just getting his streams, even without the content side, this man, he is basically watching a movie on a stream while he's playing the video game. Like, the man's energy is out of this world. Getting his team involved. Just watching jcurry. He communicates as well. I've been to some of his streams. His communication is top tier, and a lot of these guys had played basketball in real life or played other sports in real life, and they are bringing that over to the 2K community and into their games and keeping their teams focused, keeping their teams on track. You know what I mean? They get down, they bring them back. They win these games, they reverse sweep, all this stuff, and they have been grinding for a while. And I really hope that the coaches and GM scouts or whatever are seeing that side too, of these guys really, really have grinded and really deserving of this. And I feel like this is the deepest draft pool class they're gonna have. I feel like, beyond this, who are we looking at? Like, we haven't had that wave. We have the wave of like 5 guys that I know that aren't draft eligible right now. That will be the next big thing when they're available to be put into the draft eligible prospect badge showcase tournaments. It's like, really, really got to think, and a lot of these guys are gonna get stubbed. And I hope this isn't gonna bring down their determination and their grinds to keep grinding out post draft and come back, and it could be a first round pick.
Yeah.
All right, I'm back, and I currently have a new guest named Kobe who wants to sit in my lap. I know Jelly doesn't like him.
I don't mind him. He just lost us a couple series, back in the day. What was it, 2K or so ago? Just get that dog a cage.
Hey, yeah, he'd have a cage, but he likes to actually bite the cage, so I don't want that.
But I want to. Let's talk about not just the prospects we had on here. Let's dive deep into this draft pool. You know what I mean? Just to go over some of the prospects we had.
All right, so we could start at guard, and we could talk Duran, we could talk Cooks, Daly. Cooks and Daly actually did reach out to me. Daly had a series going on. Cooks is currently in a finals. Actually, they're playing against each other, so that's why I can't get either one of them on. I completely crossed my mind.
Yes, they're having a big series. I think was what time is that? 11 o'clock.
10 o'clock Eastern, unless it got pushed
10
back.
10 o'clock Eastern. That's TPO finals. It's shooter touch EN/ENG against straight ice. That's going to be a great game. I mean, you got a lot of prospects in there, and those guys are going to put on a show. Like, I feel like, just from those prospects on there, I feel like a lot of them are disrespected on these mock drafts. I mean, I know people don't really pay attention to mock drafts, but they do. Like Cooks, you got Dietrich out there. You have 2, I think, that are definitely going to get picked in Oreo and Fakey. You got what Dale that's out there, Plondo. You got on the other side.
You got Witness.
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure Witness is still there. So you got
Witnesses out there.
What
got some top tier guys out there.
What are we looking at? I think 9, 8 prospects.
Yep.
Just in that series alone, in the TPO finals, best
all
of 5.
10.
All 10, I think. So
all 10.
That's a series. If your board is sitting where you're not sure what you want to do, that's definitely a board that's definitely a series you want to watch, because all 10 of them are going to show you something. All five games, I don't see that going 3-0 either way. Joe might think differently because he wants to see NG win in a sweep. But I mean, you start moving over and you start looking at 630. I believe it's E4G Hunter. Nobody's really his name isn't being brought up as much anymore. Faiz, Fanta.
Oh, I want to talk about what is it? Fires or Faiz? That kid is he was. I think he's a stagehead before.
Yeah, literally came
that man,
like from the stage and took over.
Crazy.
Yeah,
that man's dribbling is insane. Like I was watching a Chalk stream the other night, and that kid can just go to work. You don't know when he's gonna pull up. You don't know when he's gonna drive. You don't know anything. And his passing too is pretty good. It's almost at that elite level. I mean, like I was watching him, and he was throwing some dimes. Like he would come around that screen, and dudes thought he was gonna pull up off that that quick stop, and that man was just dotting that hash when that pinch was coming. I mean, or that corner, and it's great to see. Like that's what I feel like these GMs and scouts are really gonna look for in the PG spot. They want to look for the guy that can make the pass, can make the read, because that whole like we saw the pass, I feel like it was more dominant heavy ball heavy on the point guard to really score. I feel like that's kind of dead, and now it has to be all 5 guys. It's not just be the corner guy just gonna be holding B, waiting for the pass, stuff like that. I feel like there's gonna be a lot more plays called this season, just the way the game is now, because everybody can dribble the ball. It could be different because of the league build, but I feel like it's still going to be with that aspect where you got to start calling a lot more plays for everyone to get involved in the game, or you're not going to win. It's like don't get me wrong, these teams have a lot of plays. The people that I know, the people that I've talked to that have played on teams, they have very deep playbooks, very, very deep playbooks, and people don't realize it because it looks like it's just pick and roll. But because the guards could score you. I mean, you had great guards out there. So you had JBM, you have Radiant, you have Reg, you have CB13, you have all those guys out there who are great point guards. They can score at will. But those guys did have plays called, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot more play call heavy now, just the way the game is heading.
All right, this isn't 2K related, but real quick, I gotta break this because possible MVP candidate Joel Embiid has been taken out with a hard fall, and he's getting an MRI on his knee. If you're an NBA fan or even Joel Embiid, Sixers fan, that kind of sucks. But back onto the 2K league. You start looking at these centers. I was kind of hoping we could have got a couple of these centers on coming from when I played 2K. That was the position that I played. So I got to play against some of these guys. And you got Crown, you got Dietrich, you got Colt, Glow. Who else am I missing? Chaos. I'm not really sure if Chaos is going to be playing the 4 or 5. Joe, is there like a specific position that he said he was playing?
I feel like I believe he's put at the. I could be wrong. I believe he's put at the center position. That man has worked his butt off. Like I know I've said in the past he played with like the great players and stuff like that. Like before, like his pick and roll was kind of sweet and all that stuff. But I mean, he has really put in the grind. And I feel like he's a lock. I feel like he's a lock to get drafted. He won over 20-30 grand in WR.
Yeah.
I mean, that man his team just literally took over.
Didn't they 4-peat?
You know, it's just like, I believe so. I believe so. I honestly believe so. And that man just went to work and he really just grinded it out and it just went ape, you know. And I feel like if people aren't really looking at him, I feel like he's really been underrated, you know, in these mock drafts, in these talks. And I don't know how many interviews he's got, but I feel like he's going to be something special in the league. And he's going to bring that energy. He's earned his spot. He's considered a veteran now. So I feel like he's going to bring an organization something that they didn't have at that 4-5 position before. I think he's really going to do some damage.
When you look at the ENG players, is there anyone that we haven't mentioned that we should touch on and, you know, try to boost their stock up a little bit?
I'm going to say every single one. Those guys have worked. I feel like Putback, Notorious, Ville that we had on tonight, Rabb that we had on tonight, Dietrich. Hopefully you get him in here later. He's actually in the finals right now. Those guys have not been talked about. You can go through the whole list. You know, C's, I feel like he doesn't need to be pushed anymore. That man is just absolutely insane. You've been seeing what he's doing. You see what he did in the combine. He dropping 70 points, 60 points, 50 points. Like, that's just like out of the world. He's on a different planet right now. But like, I'm gonna you know, jump back. Dietrich, I feel like he's a diamond in the rough. He's a great center. He's a great swingman if you have to put him in the corner. You know, he knows how to play the pick and roll. He has the, you know, he plays the center, but he has like a PG mindset where he knows where to make the pass, to make the read if you give him the ball coming down the court on a press, or even just, you know, if you have to give him the ball on the reset, and he can make a play. He can score. You know what I mean? He can make that read that teams are going to need. You know, he communicates to the team on defense, on offense, and stuff like that. He's a great player. Notorious is another one that I feel like that hasn't gotten a lot of shine, and not a lot of shine, but like not talked about as much. He's a great lock. I hope his connections when he was playing with Chalk that they saw that in that kid, and he can really, you know, get his name called, because he's another one that deserves it. He's a great lock. He shoots at a high clip. You know what I mean? Like, I watched one ENG series with them, and, you know, they had a tough time scoring. And this man, I think he shot like 13 for 15 the game. He had like 30-something points. I mean, the kid can just straight out hoop. Touching
on Dietrich, again, I'm going to mention this because this is something fresh in my mind because it just happened tonight. During JBM's Periscope, he was talking to Fab, and Fab said he wants a center who has IQ and can, you know, facilitate the ball. Dietrich's that guy. You're talking about putting him into the conversation with Ramo and with Dave Fry. He has the IQ, and he is a defensive presence. And to me, if Cleveland's in the market for a big guy, I mean, putting Dietrich over there with Fab, it's going to give Fab what he wants, and Dietrich's going to explode playing underneath of Cleveland. That's just my opinion.
I mean, that would be a great pick for them as well, but you gotta realize it's just like as well. You got the Chaoses there. You know, you have the top tier Crowns there. You like I feel like Chaos could possibly go to Cleveland. That would be a great fit too. Dietrich would be a great fit because he can make that read. You know what I mean? Like, you need that out of a center.
Yeah, and that's what Fab was saying. He doesn't want a guy who's just there for pick and roll and rebounds. And Dietrich gives you everything. Dietrich's a point guard stuck in a center's body. Best way to put it.
I also want to shout out a guy that you know, recently has been making content. That put it out there, like, I don't know, a couple of days ago, whatever. Been making a lot of posts. He's one of the most winning power forwards in the pro-am community.
Merck.
He's been to almost Merck. He's from my home state, Rhode Island. Put us on the map. I feel like this kid does not get talked about. You know, like, I've seen his name. I don't think I've seen his name on a mock draft. And this kid has been hooping from, you know, back in the draft MCPA days. You know what I mean? Like, this kid the growth I've seen him go through is just amazing. You know what I mean? Like he kind of became Hollywood. You know, like me and Merc used to talk a lot, and then he became Hollywood, became that big profile player. But it happens to people. You know, like he's a dog. You know what I mean? Like he can. He defense wise, that kid is amazing. Offense wise, that kid is amazing. Like he should definitely hear his name called tomorrow. I feel like the kid's top tier.
You want to talk about him being on a mock draft? He was just in the Orlando Magic mock draft 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he was in the Orlando mock draft. I saw that.
I was able to scoop him up in the 5th round. I was definitely happy about that.
I think that was a great pick. Like people, like they went over the grades and stuff like that. Champ and Sportstein, I think kept it real with his grading of it. You know what I mean? Champ somewhat kept it real. With some of the grades that I didn't really agree with. Like I questioned, he said the green light at the 6th man. I feel like the green light at the 6th man. I feel like he's a starter, and that would just be wasting, his year. I feel like you know what I mean. Like I know, like a lot of people are saying, well, some people didn't have, some of these point guards won't have a good year, and they're gonna get a backup point guard, and this guy's gonna step up, and that's why they're gonna do this. Yeah, you got to be scared of that. I feel like if you're at any position and you see you get picked first, and then you see them pick the same position behind you, you better be on your P's and Q's because they're very leery. You know what I mean? They feel like they got the good guy, but again, it could be like if this guy doesn't work out, let's step somebody in real quick. But there's a lot of guys that are versatile and can play that 1 through 5. So then you got to be scared of that as well. Just not just for the guys that are getting picked in this draft, but also the people that got retained. But we also can't forget the people that didn't get retained. You still got people that have played the 1 through 3 seasons and are still not retained that are out there. You got the Talks, you got the Colts out there and stuff like that. Which is a very, 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 very nerve-wracking for these new draftees.
Rob, I have a question for you. Being new in the community, not knowing much, not actually playing 2K, from the little bit of tape that you've seen and from the interviews we've done and the conversations that Jelly, myself, and Tay have had, do you have a favorite player that could get drafted tomorrow? Robbie?
Little technical difficulties with Rob.
I think my audio is good now. I don't know.
I can hear you.
Out of the guys I know and the guys I've talked to, I'd like to see my man Oreo get drafted. I like the energy he brings. And I want to see him get that cookie sponsorship. What's up?
That'd be great. But going to the draft pool, right? Do you feel, because there's a lot of people, there's been a lot of tweets, there's a lot of people preying on people's downfalls. Do you feel like, you've seen the tweets out there of, a lot of the stuff's going to show tomorrow, in this draft pool, the guys got piggybacked and got their spots in there. Do you feel like that's true? Or do you feel like all these guys have earned their spots? I feel like everybody in this draft pool has earned their spots. That's me personally.
I
feel like everyone has done this.
We touched on this earlier. This draft class. There's not a single guy who does not deserve to be in this draft class. There's going to be 205 guys and only 63 are going to get drafted. Roughly, I believe that's the numbers. They're 62.
It's a little bit higher, but because a lot of guys pulled out, so the number has dropped.
You're talking about the most versatile draft class. What the biggest thing is going to be is if the 2K League goes back to before COVID and we're on the stage, how many of these guys do you personally feel are going to be able to take on the stage? That's what scares me. If I was a GM, that's what would be going through my mind is, do these guys have the attitude to be on that stage? And if I'm sitting across from Bear, or if I'm sitting across from, say Hami makes the league, can that guy that I drafted be able to take Bear Hami.
The big personalities.
The big personalities chit-chatting with him. Like, yeah, I know you got the stick skill, but once you're face-to-face with somebody like Bear, or somebody like Hami, somebody like Dave Fry, JBM, or even Oreo, one of these guys, can you sit across from them and take it and be able to stay level-headed and play your game? And that's kind of why I wish we would have got the Texas ticket, because it definitely allows you to see them on stage right away.
See, like that stage is great and all that puts people in a comfort zone that they're not used to, or uncomfortable zone they're not used to. But I feel like that's a lot different than that big stage. A lot different. Like I heard, like there, I think there was something tweeted out today, if I'm not mistaken, that the Orlando gaming arena it could possibly open up. It could be possibly trying to transition to a hybrid kind of thing. So we'll get to see it there. But yeah, like they're gonna still be playing mostly in a comfort behind the screen. Not gonna have that crowd there. They're not gonna have those big personalities in their faces. They're not gonna be able to hear them. You know what I mean? So that could be play into a lot of this stuff too. Like these guys' nerves are up right now. They're like, I don't care. Every prospect, their nerves are up. Humble or not, they're on their seat. They want to hear their name called. You know what I mean? So they're really looking forward to this and seeing what they can do on the stage. I am too, because I think this season is gonna be a great season. I hope they really throw some curveballs in there with these whole trades and everything, just to shock everybody. That's why I feel like it's gonna be. That's why they haven't posted anything out there. I mean, they posted the whole Jin thing out, which is very unfortunate. They didn't post the season thing out, but he kind of posted out himself, so people really got that under cap that he's not in the draft pool anymore, which really, I think that right there shook up the draft boards. And that's why you're seeing all these trades. And coming back to what you're saying is like shaking up all these draft boards. Now they're gonna be like taking personality and that composure of being on the stage. If they are able to transition to that stage, are these guys gonna be able to handle it?
One thing I am noticing with this draft class though, which is going to counter what I just said, a lot of these guys have experience playing actual sports, and when you play basketball or even football, it's shit talking 24/7. So you're used to that kind of conversation. And I think once the stage opens back up, that I do feel like this draft class is going to have the advantage over recent draft classes, because these guys have played high school ball, and some of these guys actually went on and played college or debated about playing college ball. So I don't know how much of my first statement is going to actually stand and be correct, because these guys do have the outside sports world to fall back on when it comes to, if you and I are sitting across from each other and you start, coming at me, I know how to respond. I know how to keep myself composed and still be able to play my game. So I think that definitely brings a different layer to this draft class as well. The other,
I feel that, like I feel that, man. It's just like, I don't know, because I played sports too. I played basketball. It's just like, I feel like that's a different kind of environment. Your adrenaline's pumping. I know your adrenaline's pumping, gonna be on that stage, stuff like that, but you're not moving. You're like okay, on a basketball court, you get the ball, you do your thing, you score the snap, blah blah, you stop someone on defense and all that stuff. Like you're chatting for that little bit, and then you're trying to make that play. You know what I mean? Like so it's more fast paced. This is, you're sitting across from this guy for that whole entire time. He's staring you down that whole entire time. You know what I mean? I feel like people get more rattled on a video game than they do in real life sports for some reason. That's what it feels like. We've seen teams crumble.
We actually had this conversation pre-draft. You actually yelled at me because I decided that I was going to shit talk Nip FT before our series, and then requested that all 10 of us stayed in the party to play this pre-draft tournament in 10 style, because that's what I wanted. And I actually believe that was my best series that I played all pre-draft. But that's just because I enjoyed doing that kind of stuff in real life. So I'm kind of hoping that other guys are the same way. I'm waiting for your mic to move to say something. I'm waiting for the slick comment.
Oh yeah, no. I get it. Like it's different. Like draft 10 style kind of thing. All everybody's talking in the party and stuff like that, and you talk junk before the game and stuff. But I for some reason I feel like people get more rattled on 2K than playing in real life sports. I some people can disagree with me. I will not go. I will stick to that statement. People get more rattled on 2K because we have seen teams crumble with like 20-point leads and just totally crumble, and they're not even in the same party. They're arguing amongst each other. The team crumbles. So you sitting across from that person for that entire time of the 2K game, and it's a big stage, and you got Bear the Beast just talking at you the whole entire time, talking at you. Because I'm telling you right now, these pros with the new guys coming in, they're out for blood, and these guys are gonna show them they're trying to prove you don't belong here. This is not for you. You know what I mean? And these new guys want to show out too, and might get a little jittery. You're going to see. I feel like you're going to see in the beginning of the season. You can see a little slip ups with some guys. They're going to get, there's going to be guys that they're just totally prosper, totally come out and just do what they got to do. But then you're going to see some other guys that are like, ooh, they're out of their comfort zone. Like, can I handle that? You know what I mean? Like this guy's staring at me the entire time. You know what I mean? He says a little gesture to me. It's different. It's totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, in real life sports, it's quick pace. You're on the football field. You get that ball, you're running, this and that. You score a touchdown. You get the stop on defense, and it's over. You go to the next play. You talk your stuff. You go to the sideline. Halftime, this and that, blah blah blah. But you're literally this guy's gonna be talking to you. Can you like a Day Fry? I feel like Day Fry is one of the biggest, if you want to say competitive guys, he's going to talk you to death the entire time. If he knows he's got your number and he's just outworking you, that guy is not going to stop. He's not going to stop. I mean, you see it in his streams. He does it to his own teams. He's not going to stop talking, and that's what you need. And he's in his comfort zone. He's a champion. Those champions, those guys that have been that big stage are going to do that to you. And can these new guys really handle that? It's a toss-up. There's some guys that can, and there's some guys that are just going to totally fold.
Well, that also falls into the topic of, I don't remember who it was that we had on, and they said, you watch guys that crumble when money's on the line. You're talking about guys coming on, even if it's not on stage, they're going to be playing for a lot bigger payouts than what you see in the 2K community on Twitter. It might have been Oreo, but that's definitely going to be another layer that I'm hoping GMs and coaches have definitely looked at and ripped apart when it comes to that. Can you trust this player with money on the line not to sweat it out and play differently because, they're playing for $250,000 instead of playing for $30,000? So that definitely makes another difference into this draft class. How many guys got ice in their veins?
That too. You gotta look at, you got that guy talking across the seat from you. You got your team talking to you, like, what are you doing? You got your coach behind you talking to you. That whole aspect. Also too, the big money. That's big money. That's superstar money. You're stepping on the stage. You're going out there for hundreds of thousands of dollars. You're going out there to keep your job. Like when you're at the comfort of your seat at home, you know what I mean? You're working to get that job. It's like college basketball. You're working to get to that next level, so you're doing whatever you got to do, but you're doing it the comfort. You know what I mean? You're doing it. You're hustling. Now you're on that big stage with the big lights, and it's a whole different thing. It's just like stepping on the stage as a pro athlete. You are a pro athlete. You're an esports gaming pro athlete, and that's big time. And who's going to melt under those lights? That's what I want to see.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what I'm getting at. With this class, I don't know how many of these guys are going to possibly fall under the lights. And the guy that kind of sticks out to me when we're talking about falling under the lights and being a glue guy and Swiss Army knife, and somebody who's not getting much love when it comes to these mock drafts, is Miles. I think he deserves to get a little bit more credit. Yeah, he plays power forward, but you saw pre-draft he was playing lock. I'm pretty sure he also can play center. And at one point last year, this year it looks a little bit different. The game's changed a little bit. I think it's a little bit easier to shoot this year compared to last year. But last year, that man had a strap. I mean, you couldn't leave his corner open, and then he'd turn around and get a steal and be the offense and defensive anchor just from the corner. Um, so he definitely deserves a lot more credit than what he's getting on these draft boards. I guess it's my draft board's different than another guy's draft board because I'm not politicking it. I'm not going off of what my stream's telling me to draft. I'm going off of what I see, what I played against, and I've noticed a lot of these guys who do mock drafts are people that never actually played 2K. They're just guys that sit here and watch streams and rip apart what their comments say.
I think they play. They. I mean, a lot of these guys have played it. Have they been in it long enough? That's what I'm gonna say. Like, I know Champ has been in it long enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some of his draft board, I don't agree with it, but he has been there. Sports team, but he works for the league. This is his job. You know what I mean? I think he does a legitimate job of his draft boards. You have Stin out there. You have Zonix. Those guys have played, but have they been playing it long enough to really dive deep and know these guys in and out and how they play and what they're good at, and what they're not good at? I think they're going off maybe the past couple of years to see them, or even just this pre-draft, which obviously no one cares about the past. They're going to say that, what are you doing now type of thing. So, I mean, these draft boards have mock drafts, whatever you want to call them, have been, somewhat, they're supposed to be chaotic. They're supposed to cause controversy. It's content. You know what I mean? I don't agree with a lot of them. It's just like a lot of the guys are left off that really should be on there, and it's literally just I feel like to ruffle some feathers. That's what these guys are out here to do. They're content creators. They're out here to ruffle feathers and see who's gonna fold. They want to see a top tier one maybe drop down because oh man, this and that. This guy's over me on the mock draft. This and that. Like, you got to put that all aside and not worry about it and just keep playing. But there's another topic that I really want to talk about. How is it going to work with these European players? That's what I want to know. Visa-wise, COVID-wise, like, I don't hear any talks about this. I mean, I heard it in some streams and stuff like that, but like, how are they going to get these guys over here to be in these housing, the housing that they have to put these players in and to actually play together and get, are they going to have them playing over there and then playing over? Like, how is that going to work to get that bond between the team? Because you just don't need to be good to, on the game behind the controller. You need to have that bond. You need to make sure there's no egos. Everyone meshes well together. Like, how is that going to work?
I've thought about that. For me personally, I haven't. This is going to sound terrible. I haven't paid much attention to European draft pool. I haven't paid much attention to the PlayStation draft pool. I've strictly been paying attention to the Xbox draft pool. PlayStation draft pool, there's guys. I see their names. I've seen their streams. And it's like, all right, well, I've seen them stream maybe once or twice, and they caught my attention, so I looked at them. European, I mean, I guess it's because it's a different time zone, and I don't cover 2K strictly. I haven't dove deep into it, but when you start talking COVID, from what Biden's saying, that everyone's going to be able to get their vaccine by May 1st, or apply May 1st for their vaccine. The season's already going to be started. Am I incorrect?
I believe so. It should be, or they might wait a little bit. It could be a little bit after, but I mean, you have about 14 to 15, I believe. Don't quote me on that. Players that are overseas. So it's gonna be really difficult. I mean, just got some right across the border in Canada. You got some. I think you have like 7 Australian guys. Guys from Turkey, France, Spain, China. Like, how, like that's gonna be another thing. Are those guys getting left out this draft pool and left off draft boards and left out of the minds of the GMs and coaches because of that factor? Because of how the world is right now.
or or is the NBA and the 2K League like trying to work around that? Like that's going to be a really big another thing that's going to shake up draft boards because they have a great guy like Mario. You got
I
Gooner.
know who that. I know Mario and Goon. I know both
Yeah.
of them. So they're two guys that
You got those guys.
They're
Great guys. Great players.
They're both two guys that if I was a 2K League franchise and I was looking to grab a guy from my team, they're both on my board. There's no question about it. Both can hoop, and they both seem like they bring enough energy, and they're definitely guys that are going to not cause issues in your quote-unquote locker room, but I feel like they're going to be able to bring the teams together. They're definitely glue guys, in my opinion. So with you making that comment, that does make a little bit of sense. If they don't go because of COVID or they get pushed way back and at the end of the 5th round, you're talking about two guys that are going to be steals if that's the case. So I hope COVID doesn't play a role in Mario.
I think that would be a great fit
Goon.
that would be a great fit for Fab. Mario would be a great fit for Fab. Right there. That's his guy, I feel. Like that could be his guy. And that this whole COVID thing and I just don't know how it's gonna work out, and especially like this whole stage thing. That's another thing. Like we saw the league like this past season. It's like everyone's playing the comfort of their home. It's not really. There's not a lot of pressure. I want to see that pressure on people. I want to see those guys shaking. I want to see the controls shaking. I want to see the demon JTs hitting the seats and everything like that. I want to see some hype. Like it really wasn't that hyped. The season, it's like, oh, great, I'm watching a pro-am game. I'm putting up a stream. And then, is that going to hurt the 2K League again with views? You know what I mean? Is that going to hold some people back not getting drafted?
You mentioned his name. Do you think he gets redrafted?
Who's that?
JT.
Big possibility. JT's good at the game. Like there was a lot of shakeup of like, oh, it's JT, let him shoot. It's JT, leave him open. It's JT, this and that. Like I feel like Rabb's put in his category. Like, oh, it's just Rabb. It's just Rabb. It's just JT. Like, yeah, and he's played in the league. He's still a good player. I feel like he could possibly get redrafted. Yes, of course. He's been there. He knows the big lights. He knows how to take the pressure.
If you had to guess, who gets drafted more, unretained guys or first timers?
I feel that's hard to say. I feel like it could possibly be a mix. Because you still have some great unretained players. That's what people aren't realizing. You still have those guys out there, and
Larry.
You know what I mean. Like you have Larry, you have Cole, you have Tox, you have Reese, you have I'm missing a lot of people, obviously, but it's just you have these guys. You have Gilly, you have a lot of guys that aren't being like talked about in these mock drafts and stuff like that are still out there. They know how to take the pressure. Maybe it just wasn't the right fit, the organization they were playing with for the couple of past seasons. You have JT out there. You know what I mean? You have these guys that are out there. You have with Rando, who was just on Champ Stream doing the dance with him. You have those guys out there. And that's putting a little bit more pressure, too, on these new guys, these new draftees, that they got to realize, like, you're trying to beat the guys that aren't retained, too. You're not just trying to beat out the other guys that are just got their prospect badges, too. You know what I mean? You got the women now coming up. You got a lot of these girls like AP Pure, but like she can hoop.
There's actually I was hoping
DJ Lay, she can hoop. Icy Girl, she can hoop.
I've reached out.
There's a bunch of them.
I actually reached out to a little lady. I was hoping to hear back from her.
She's a dog. I watched her. I watched one of her streams. She's good. She is good.
Last year, for anybody in the stream that does not know, I was actually the head coach and quote-unquote GM of Team of Power, which is ran by the Lab. I got to watch PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which really opened up my mind and my eyes to PlayStation 4. And a little lady 87, she caught my eye right away over on PlayStation. She is an absolute dog. The way she plays, and it's with her, this is where it comes to the versatility thing. So we're talking about how this draft class is so versatile, and you got European players, Canadian players, unretained guys, first time guys, guys that can play multiple positions, and then you look at a little lady. Last year, I got to watch her play center, lock, and or center, lock, and shooting guard, all in a 3-hour span. And she didn't disappoint in any one of the 3 positions. So she's definitely somebody. If I was a GM or a coach going into the 2K League, that's somebody that's on my board. I haven't really got to sit down and have a conversation with her, but just watching the way she plays, I mean, there's no way she's not.
You have to take this all into account. I mean, like, again, you got the women that are now gaming. They're coming up. They're coming up quick. You're going to see a lot more women in this league. I feel a lot more. I mean, and also going back to unretained players, you got Styles out there. You got Lavish Phenom out there. You got Juan. You got Bobby Buckets, Be Rich, Toxic, Killy. That's just to name a few. I mean, you got all these. You got Arkell out there. You know what I mean? You got Bohio out there. You got a lot of guys out there. Glenn Ratty's still out there. I mean, you got a lot of guys. Idris the GOAT. You got a lot of guys out there. Sleeties that still are in this draft pool. People still in this draft pool.
Killy had
all you prospects out there.
Killy had one hell of a pre-draft.
I mean, he's winning. That's what they want to see. That's what they want to see. I would love to see. I would love to see Killy come back. I would love to see Killy come back and play guard. That would be great. I would love to see him come back and play guard. I would like to see a lot of these guys. That's why they don't understand. You got to take notice of these guys that are unretained. That's the scary factor. You should have guys in here that have seen these bright lights, have played these games, have grinded out. They've played seasons 1 through 3, or they played one season, but they know what it's like. They know how to mesh with a team. You know what I mean? They're going to come in and they're going to be. It's no nonsense. They want to come in here. They want to win money. This is their livelihood. That's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, yeah, they have jobs outside here. Like, Maj is a great one too. He has another career path. You know what I mean? If he doesn't get drafted, which I don't see him not getting drafted. You know what I mean? But he has other stuff to fall back on. Some of these guys, this is what they want to do, and this is all they want to do.
Mr. Looking in the stream here. Mr. Rate My Jelly, what are you doing? You wanna hop in the stream here? Have a conversation with me and Jelly about something that you'll never be a part of? I'm waiting to hear back from... I'm waiting to hear from Height. Hopefully we actually get to get him on. I know he was working and he wasn't sure what time he was going to be done, so hopefully we do get a Height sighting tonight. It's definitely something that I would like to close on. But really, I feel like we covered a lot. We got a lot of guys on. Joe, your opinion, what are the chances that we see Hami get drafted?
Big chances. Big chances. Hami, I feel like he's that glue guy. He's an OG. He's an old head, if you want to put him in that category. He knows a lot of the guys in the league. He gets along with a lot of the guys in the league. He's going to be a no-nonsense guy. He's going to bring you that energy. He's going to bring you the communication. I feel like he's going to keep a team level-headed. He has stick skill. You know what I mean? He's a great. I feel like he's a great 4 player. 5 player. He has that swing out of the corner. He can get you some buckets. You know what I mean? But I feel like he's that glue guy. Like possibly a great. He could go. Feel like maybe late second, third. Possibly maybe a 6-man kind of thing, but it's just like he's going to be that guy in there. He's going to do what you want him to do, what a team needs. And a lot of these teams are going to need that. A lot of teams are going to need that level-headed guy. There's a lot of young bucks, if you want to call them, that are coming in, and if they get rattled, he's going to be that guy to bring that team back into focus of what they're there for. One goal.
Real quick, while we have a second, while I'm waiting to see if Height reaches back out to me, I know that's definitely somebody that I want to get on before we actually end the show. JP's warming up for Hall of Fame Open. He's going to end up losing that game because he's probably running guard. Bright lights. Do you have an update on the ENG series versus Straight Ice?
I might have to check on. Give me 2 seconds. I can check on that real quick.
Oh wait, this doesn't look promising. We actually won't have an update on the ENG Straight Ice series as the EGSN or EG, right? EGSN finals best of 5 still going on. That started at 7 o'clock. So.
But the league build kind of thing, yeah, that thing, the league build, I heard it was really glitchy. But I watched a lot of the guys that we've talked about on those league builds. I don't know if it's comparable to the actual league build, but a lot of those guys are showing out. I know Cooks is having a great league build run right now. Dietrich is too. He's over there. They're playing against, I think it's Miles, Cooks. It's a shoot and touch team. Miles, Cooks, Big Saint, Dietrich. I can't remember their fifth.
I will
but they're actually
pull this up for you right now. Oh wait, never mind. He didn't post who was playing. Actually,
no, but if you go on the ESGN, they actually have it. It's I got it right here for you. It's Godsend against Shooter's Touch. You have for Godsend, you have Bear the Beast, Kai, Crazy, Shifty, Mrs. Slaughter, and Crush. And then for Shooter's Touch, you have Cooks, Benzo, Saint, Miles, Dietrich. And Benzo. That is a great. Miles is actually streaming that right now, which is probably a great series going on. And that league build, it's a lot different. You know what I mean? You don't have the stamina. You can't do a whole bunch of dribble moves. You don't have that second bar of Gatorade kind of thing. You know, it's a lot different. The shooting's a lot different. You're not going in there picking your shot and all this stuff. But a lot of those guys are showing out. Benzo has been showing out on that league build. That kid is definitely going to the league.
That kid's been just showing out in general. I don't know how old he is, but he's going to be a top 5 pick when he's eligible.
I believe Benzo's 16.
So he's the same age as Spam. So we're going to get a Spam Benzo, another 2 post drafts, and then a 1-2 combo.
See who goes number 1, number 2 kind of thing. I feel like that's going to be like a show where those teams are going to want to grab those guys quick. Him, going to be Johnny Red next year. Johnny Red is going to be, I think, going to be great in the league. Yeah. That kid is a straight dog. And he's doing great on the league build too. Doing great. I mean, they're going against a powerhouse team of just league players, which is a scary sight because I saw Godsend against ENG, and it was scary. Those guys are just running through people. Pause, but they're just showing these people like, yeah, you belong in the league. We're gonna see.
Height is actually working overtime, so we will not have Height on. He's talking about possibly doing one tomorrow morning. I told him it all depends because I might be sleeping. So, I mean, is there anybody else you want to touch on real quick before we go ahead and end the stream?
No. I think we touched on a lot of stuff tonight. It was a good long stream. We got some prospects in here to give their backstory. What they would bring to an organization. We talked about some other prospects too, and what these new draftees have to look out for. The women in the draft pool, which I feel like a lot of these women are being slept on. I think Icy Girls team. I don't know if they're still undefeated or not in one of their seasons.
I think they're
I think
actually playing a finals.
Yeah, I think she's playing over there with Trill ADB and stuff like that. I think they're just putting in work over there.
Yeah,
putting in work. And actually, TPO just tweeted something out between the E&G Straight Ice finals. They didn't post a time for it, so I don't know if they actually are pushing it back. They didn't want to post a timeout, so people were disappointed for a stream. But look out for that. If you just go on TPO's Twitter at TPO League. You can check that out and look out for the streams from My Name Oreo, or I believe it's most likely My Name Oreo is gonna be streaming that game, and I think Dale on the other side will be streaming that game as well.
So wrapping up here, Oreo, Rabb, Maj, jcurry, Dooms, Ville. All of you guys, thanks for coming on the show, giving us 15 to 20 minutes of your time. We really appreciate it. We really hope that all 6 of your names get drafted tomorrow. For everybody else that we covered, I wish we would have been able to get a couple more guys on, but sometimes it's the way the cookie crumbles. I know Cooks and I had a conversation earlier, and he said he's exhausted from setting up these games. I saw Killy made a tweet about that too. This is definitely getting you ready for the 2K League. I mean, all you're doing is legitimately talking to the other team and setting up, 4 or 5 series a night. Especially when you look at Killy's success this pre-draft and all the finals that were going on this week, and you look at E&G's success this pre-draft. They both had a lot of setups for series. But yeah, I really appreciate the guys that came on. I gotta thank Rob as always for being here with us. Joe, I thank you for coming on and really running the show, letting me sit here and having a different perspective on the show, seeing how it's run while just sitting here the way you guys usually do while I'm talking to somebody. And
oh no, it was great. I was like a kid in a candy store with all these prospects. I'm not gonna lie to you. I want to pick their brains. I've been thinking about this all day.
This is definitely something that I will look forward to doing next year, pre-draft, right before the draft. Maybe we'll set up something a little bit earlier so we could try to get more prospects on. Maybe even try to do like a 24-hour stream. And, hopefully by that time, the podcast has a little bit more of a name behind it, a little bit more rep. And we could pull interviews for like 24 hours and get these guys some eyes. But really,
all building blocks. Hey, if anybody's out there looking for commentators, me and Matt are you guys.
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow, good luck to everyone in the draft. Hopefully, a lot of the guys that I've been playing with since 18 make it, or playing against, Oreo being one of them. Dooms, I hated playing against Dooms from 18 on. Rabb is another guy that I hated playing against. I never got the chance to play against jcurry. Merc, enjoyed playing against Merc, and happy to see that he's going to be going into the league. Miles, I'm missing people here. I don't think I ever got a shot to play against Maj at center, so that's something that kind of sucks. Hated playing against Cooks. Talk Cooks real quick. That was the first series that I ever played lock.
I got a funny story about Cooks before I end this off. I got a funny story about Cooks.
The first series I ever played lock, I had to play against Cooks. And everyone going into that series was, Cooks is this guy that you don't want to play against. And it was, Shaq, you're playing lock, suit up, and, I felt like I held my own, but I'm pretty sure he still had like 50 points in a 2-game series. So yeah.
Man, Man, that man's on the growth I've seen from him is amazing. Yeah, like when we first started off ENG, I started off ENG Select. I was trying to get some no names, kind of out there, if you want to call them randoms, everyone calls them. Start off that team. They kind of made a little splash in some leagues. And Cooks was actually brought to me by Willow, to be the point guard. No idea who Cooks was at the time, this and that, and I actually didn't pick him. And look where he is now. Look where he is now. He's part of ENG now and everything like that, and that's my boy. I mean, I would vouch for that kid I'll vouch for anybody in ENG, but I vouch for Cooks a lot, and that kid deserves his respect. Everybody that's from ENG deserves a respect that are in this draft pool. I feel like all the draftees deserve their respect, and just look at where they started from, the work they put in, the work outside of 2K that they have to do and then grind the game is just amazing, and I really give them props and respect, and I hope everyone just one day gets their name called and gets their dream to come true.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll see you get your name called. You'll be in a rocking chair, but that'd definitely be something to look forward to.
Yeah,
I feel like
my name's gonna get called those pearly gates.
I definitely feel like you would be somebody that would be worth watching in the 2K League for what it's worth. I feel like you shit talk the best out of a lot of these guys.
If you just want to have me on a mic to shit talk, then that'd be great. But the stick skills, I'm not there anymore. No, that's not happening. I would love to be on there to commentate, be a special guest, kind of thing like that, because I love talking this stuff. Ever since you started off this podcast, kind of thing, and it's just a great avenue to really dive deep and meet new people and pick their brains.
Yeah. But I don't believe we have a show tomorrow unless Height and I could work out a schedule. Timing, I will try to get Height on real quick for everyone tomorrow morning. We have thrown it in the air that we might cover the draft a little bit, do our own watch party. I know it's going to be a matter of if I could get away from my wife and what Jelly's got going on, because we're going to be the two guys that are going to be covering this more than anybody else on the pod. So, I will have a tweet out hopefully within the next hour or two giving you guys an update on what you could see next content-wise from Philly Frenzy. But until then, Philly Frenzy out.